Welcome to the Xingyuan continent. Choose your class. Class confirmed. Archer. Mage. The moment you enter the game, you choose Archer without hesitation, because you have returned from a doomed future, and you alone possess the server's unique talent, Soul Theft. Soul Theft. Xingyuan Grade. Any creature that dies within 1 kilometer of you drops a soul fragment that only you can see. Absorb that fragment. Your attack power and range permanently increase by 1.
No cooldown. No capítulo.
Can stack forever. Double shot. After arriving at the Novice village, you were stunned by the endless flood of players. Luckily, as a regressor, you had anticipated this. You didn't follow the crowd, patiently queuing at the village entrance grinding spot. Instead, you headed to a small thatched hut and found a villager to activate a hidden quest. You gave the system's starting longbow to the villager. Then, with the villager's help, you scaled the wall and left the Novice village. Are you kidding me? He actually gave his weapon away? Is he planning to punch monsters to death? Ignoring the shock of those around you, you quickly circled around the village outskirts to the grinding spot at the entrance. Xingyuan has just launched, and a massive crowd of novices is swarming the entrance spot to hunt rabbits. These are all level 0 rabbits. Even without weapons, novices can hammer them to death with raw effort. At that moment, your eyes fell upon a rabbit that had just been slain. A soul floated up from the carcass and flew straight into your body. Soul fragment absorbed. +1. Attack power +1. Attack range +1. A surge of joy hit you. You moved to the very center of the grinding zone and stood your ground, continuously absorbing every soul fragment around you. With so many players grinding, in just 10 minutes, your stats underwent a staggering transformation. Your attack and range far surpassed any normal player, and they continued to grow with every rabbit that fell. Attack range 8-10 m. While you were preoccupied with the souls, a voice drifted over from the side. That archer is so pitiful. Look, he doesn't even have his longbow anymore. Yao, stop it. We can barely get any XP ourselves. We can't carry anyone. But he's been standing there for so long. Can't we just help him out? Stop meddling. Soon, 5 hours passed. The crowd at the village entrance began to thin out, and your stats had reached an absurd level. Attack power, a staggering 4,258. Attack range, 4,253 meters. Another half hour went by. Few players were still leaving the Novice village. The rate of rabbit kills in the area was dropping. Seeing this, you didn't linger. You headed toward a level 1 grinding zone in the distance. The monsters here are wildcats. They hit harder than rabbits, but their HP is nearly the same, so they die just as fast. You spotted some familiar faces here. It was the siblings from before. The brother was a thief, and the sister was a priest. The two were fighting wildcats with all their might. Every time a cat's claw struck the brother, he winced in pain. Brother, I see that pitiful archer again. He's still level 0. Brother, can we please help him? He doesn't even have a weapon. Sis, are you crazy? Your brother's dagger is practically smoking from overuse, and you're worried about some stranger? The sister fell silent, only casting an apologetic glance your way. But seeing her brother struggling, she decided to heal him. Healing spell +61. A green light surged above the brother's head. The brother immediately beamed with joy. Just 2 more wildcats and we level up. Then I'll take you to hunt level 2 monsters. Okay, brother? What is that? What is that thing? Amidst Yao Yao's scream, a wild cat the size of a husky suddenly spawned. The wild cat boss was shrouded in layers of pale purple light. The sudden appearance immediately sparked screams from the surrounding players. Every eye was locked onto the wild cat king. The crowd descended into chaos amidst the shouting. A swarm of players rushed toward the boss. Ranged classes had already opened fire. Wild bosses have no limit on the number of attackers. As long as your range is sufficient, you can strike it. The XP reward is distributed based on the damage dealt. Damage under 1% is ignored. As for the loot, it belongs entirely to the killer. Compared to the frantic noise, you remained perfectly calm. because you alone knew that the Wildcat King's appearance was no accident. It was a core mechanic of Xingyuan. When a massive number of monsters in an area are slain, there's a chance for an area boss to spawn. That's exactly how the Cat King appeared, except for the Rabbit Zone. By now, several ranged attacks had already struck the Wildcat King. Everyone watched with bated breath, watching those attacks land. If they could deal damage, it meant the Wildcat King was killable. However, to everyone's bewilderment, despite a barrage of ranged attacks slamming into the Wildcat King, only a few pitiful -2 and -3 numbers floated above its head. Nearly 98% of the ranged damage was ruthlessly absorbed by the beast. The players stood there, completely stunned. You were the only one who understood why. The damage calculation in Xingyuan differs from traditional games. If an attack fails to break the defense, it deals 0 damage, not even a forced -1. The player's futile attacks had enraged the Wildcat King. With a piercing shriek, its razor-sharp claws snapped out, slashing violently through the crowd. The front line of warrior players were annihilated instantly. One particularly unlucky player even dropped a piece of gear, which was instantly snatched by a quick-fingered thief. What are you even hitting? We can't break this boss's defense. Run. Starting a massacre, the crowd erupted into a panic, watching the players flee in terror. You let out a cold sneer and walked toward the Wildcat King. Watching the players flee in terror, you let out a cold sneer and walked toward the Wildcat King. Simultaneously, the Wildcat King noticed you. A flicker of disdain crossed its eyes. This human is an idiot, trying to challenge me with bare fists. The players retreating in panic froze in absolute shock. The siblings were so stunned they couldn't even close their mouths. While everyone stood frozen, a system notification rang in your ear. World announcement. For being the first player on the server to slay a Black Iron Grade boss, your reputation increases by 10. You have obtained Silver Grade equipment. You have obtained the unique title, Pathfinder. As the first player on the server to kill a boss, your deeds will be known across the entire Star Source continent. Do you wish to hide your name? Server announcement. Player 1 Arrow Double Standard, as the first player on the server to slay an Iron Grade boss, is hereby announced. Reward: 1 Silver Grade equipment chest. Reputation +10. Unique title, Pathfinder. At this moment, only one thought crossed everyone's mind. Who is this 1 Arrow Double Standard? How can I get in touch with him? While the other players were still in a daze, you moved as quickly as possible, gathered the loot from the ground, and left the crowd without looking back. Now, hiding in a corner of the Novice village, you check your gains. You put the 10 attribute points from leveling up entirely into Constitution. Then you look at your inventory, at an item glowing with a green light. Exquisite Wildcat boots. Perhaps because of the first kill, the Iron Grade boss dropped Bronze Grade equipment. However, you are only level 2, so you can't equip these boots yet. Besides this bronze piece of equipment, there is still a silver treasure chest unopened. You take a deep breath and then open the chest. A silver white light erupts. This is the Silver Moon Longbow. Silver Moon Longbow, Grade Silver. Attack range +50. Attack speed +10%. Active skill, Silver Moon Revelry. Increases firing rate to 200% for 10 seconds. Cooldown, 1 hour. Your eyes light up. This is exactly what I need. The skill attached to the Silver Moon Longbow perfectly compensates for my current lack of attack speed. My clearing efficiency just shot up. Putting away the Silver Moon Longbow, you pretend to be a novice and blend in with the leveling crowd. You bypass the Wildcat grinding spot and head toward the more distant Wild Dog spot. There are quite a few players here, but the density has noticeably decreased. You arrive at a relatively crowded area and pretend to shoot arrows, occasionally into a few open spaces. Just as you are peacefully collecting soul fragments, petite figure approaches you. Great God Double Standard, is that you? You've got the wrong person. Impossible. I've been watching you for a while. You are definitely 1 Arrow Double Standard. Impossible. I've been watching you for a while. You are definitely 1 Arrow Double Standard. You really have the wrong person. No need to lie. I remember your silhouette. Great God. Could you give me a friend slot? If you need a healer later, just call me. My healing output is huge, and my brother is very useful too. If you need any errands run, I can call him for you. As Yao Yao speaks, she points to a rogue nearby whose dagger is moving so fast it leaves afterimages. Yao Yao, I'm almost out of HP. Save me. The girl simply raises her hand, and a second later, a green light rises from the rogue's head. HP plus 88. You raise an eyebrow. Such high healing output. A priest at this level would be lucky to heal 40 points, but this priest named Yao Yao can actually heal 88 points. Not bad. You can add me. Haha. I already did. I'm Yao Yao, the motion sickness healer, one of the top 3 healers from my past life, known as Dizzy Heal Yao, the human fountain. But in the previous life, Dizzy Heal Yao gave off an aura that told everyone to stay away. She's completely different from this innocent, sweet look. But then again, if this priest is indeed Dizzy Heal, then he must be Scum Shadow. Is your brother named Yuing? Do you know my brother? Indeed, it's Scum Shadow, a veteran rogue of the gaming world, a total sister-complex maniac, and the #1 scoundrel of Star Source. I heard his talent is acceleration. He'd make a decent tool. Thinking this, a slight smile curls on your lips, and your gaze toward Dizzy Heal Yao becomes even more appreciative. I won't add your brother for now. If I need anything, I'll just call you. Okay. Great God, after chatting with Dizzy Heal Yao for a bit, you leave the wild dog grinding spot. Currently, the majority of players have reached level 3. Some pro players have already hit level 4 and are close to level 5. You remember, the first player to reach level 5 can receive the Novice Village's unique quest, along with a unique reward, which will be a massive help for future leveling. Currently, since the game started, over 6 hours have passed. Because you're using a game helmet, your online time is limited to 8 hours. You must use the remaining hour and a bit to raise your level to 5, and then claim the dungeon quest. As long as the quest is claimed, you can wait until tomorrow to complete it. You glance at your talent, which has already stacked over 6,000, with over 6,000 meters of range and attack power. You can easily one-shot any ordinary monster at this stage, relying on your memory of the Novice map. You bypass the leveling areas below level 9 and head straight to the deepest part of the Novice Village, the level 10 grinding zone. Relying on your memory of the Novice map, you bypass the leveling areas below level 9 and head straight to the deepest part of the Novice Village, the level 10 grinding zone. This is a massive valley. In the valley, there roam level 10 wild monsters called Savage Bears. Savage Bears have high HP and thick defense, but their movements are sluggish. Players with better combat skills can kite them one-on-one. Because of your range, you don't need to risk entering the valley at all. You simply climb a towering cliff nearby. From here, you can overlook all the Savage Bears, and the distance to the bears below is less than 1,000 meters. You put away the Novice bow and arrows, and equip the Silver Moon longbow, drawing and firing the bow in one fluid motion. A single arrow lands precisely on a Savage Bear. Savage Bear HP minus 6,011. With just one arrow, the health bar above the bear's head instantly empties. You have slain a Savage Bear, gained 180 XP. You draw your bow again, aiming at the next Savage Bear. You have slain a Savage Bear, gained 180 XP. For the next while, you become a ruthless sniping machine. Every time you draw and fire, another Savage Bear falls. In no time, you reach level 5. Once you reach level 5, in your ear, a game notification sounds. Congratulations on being the first to reach level 5. Your strength has been recognized by the village chief. You may visit the chief of beginner village number 3 to claim a unique quest. It's here. Overjoyed, you crush your return scroll and teleport back to the village. You quickly find the village chief. I happen to have a very important task that requires your help. Are you willing to help me? I am. Good. I knew I could count on you. There is a lava demon in the volcano to the west of the village. I need you to defeat it and seal it away using this scroll. You have triggered the unique hidden quest, Volcano Demon.
Quest description.
Within the Solar Prominence volcano, the westernmost point of the starting lands, dwells a lava demon. Use the sealing scroll to imprison the demon. Time limit, 3 days. Checking the time. There are only 10 odd minutes left of your 8-hour limit. You log off immediately, as a unique quest. Once you accept it, no one else can take it from the chief. Taking off the VR helmet. After gaming all night, you are starving. You immediately cook a bowl of instant noodles. After eating, you crash and fall fast asleep. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, it's midnight. With a flash of light, you log back in. You are still at the chief's house where you logged off. You check the game clock, since there were 16 minutes remaining when you logged off. Your playtime this session is 8 hours and 16 minutes. Cumulative playtime is capped at 16 hours. Anything beyond that won't be added. After logging in, the unique quest is still there. During the day, you had already carefully reviewed the guide for this unique quest. You already have a plan. But before that, there is something more important to do. You are now level 5, meeting the requirements to upgrade general skills. Every class learns a basic general skill upon selection. The archer's basic skill is single heavy arrow. After upgrading, it becomes double heavy arrow. You go to the archer instructor in the village, spend 100 copper coins, and upgrade single heavy arrow into double heavy arrow. Then you open your friends list. You see your only friend, Yao Yao, gets motion sickness, is online. You immediately send her a message. Got a quest. Need a healer. Want in? Meanwhile, at a level 4 wild boar grinding spot, Yao Yao is leaning against a tree, bored out of her mind. She toys with her novice staff. Not far from her, the rogue shadow's daggers leave after images once again. Ding! The notification sound startles Yao Yao. Need a healer. Want in? Ding. The notification sound startles Yao Yao. Whoa! It's double shot. Need a healer. Want in? Whoa! It's double shot. Whoa! It's double shot. The bored Yao Yao suddenly beams with joy. She replies to your message instantly. Yes. Yes. Double shot. I'd be thrilled to do a quest with a pro like you. Alright. Send me your coordinates. I'll come find you. Yao Yao sends her coordinates immediately. You track the coordinates and find her quickly. Over here. Over here. The girl is ecstatic to see you, waving her arms and hopping around. Leveling here is too slow. I'll take you somewhere faster. Without another word, you invite Yao Yao to your party. Sure. I'm with you. Without a second thought, Yao Yao leaves her brother's party and joins yours. Shadow, who was preoccupied fighting boars, doesn't notice a thing. It's only after killing a boar and seeing the wrong EXP gain that he realizes his sister is gone. Where's Yao Yao? Huh? Yao Yao? Where are you? How could you leave without telling me? I've already teamed up with the pro double shot. We're heading to a high-level grinding spot. What? Yao Yao, you're still young. Watch out for bad people. Listen to your brother and come back now. Shadow panics. Even though it's just a game, he can't let his sister be taken advantage of. No way. I have to warn that double shot guy. What? User not found? That bastard didn't even add me as a friend. Boar charge. You bastard. Double shot. Just you wait. You lead Yao Yao and arrive at the familiar Savage Bear Valley. Bro, are you taking me to fight level 10 mobs? Can we even beat them? You just smile and say nothing. Standing on high, you draw your bow and fire. Savage Bear HP minus 6,217. The arrow streaks through the air, and the bear below dies instantly. You killed a savage bear. EXP plus 75. You absorbed 1 soul fragment. Attack power plus 1. Attack range plus 1. Yao Yao, witnessing the whole thing, has her mouth hanging wide open. She had imagined many ways you'd kill monsters, but never thought you'd snipe a bear from hundreds of meters away with a single shot. He's so strong. Way stronger than my brother. You don't pay much attention to her shock. You've already drawn your silver moon longbow and begin firing in rapid succession. 1 savage bear gives 75 EXP, but you need 6,000 EXP to level up. Can't be helped. To complete the unique quest quickly, you'll definitely need a priest's healing. Sharing some EXP now to get her to level 5 quickly is necessary. Under your rapid-fire assault, Yao Yao's EXP bar rises at a visible speed, soaring upward until it's full. Bro, I'm level 5. Yao Yao feels dizzy. I'm level 5 already? Yesterday, her brother's daggers were practically spinning like wheels, and it still wasn't this fast. Yao Yao's words don't stop your barrage. You continue to pick off the bears below. If you're free, go down and loot the gear. Okay. Okay, Yao Yao chirps back and heads down into the valley. Last time, you were too busy returning for the quest to pick up the loot. You can't let it go to waste this time. Level 10 gear might not sell well right now, but the copper coins are real money. You stand atop the valley, continuing your barrage. Below, Yao Yao is already working hard. Under your rapid fire, the bears below are wiped out once again. Just as you are about to leave, Yao Yao's scream rings out.
Pro.
A boss spawned. You are delighted to hear this. Your gaze quickly scans the valley, finding the massive figure that just spawned. Yao Yao, who was looting gear, immediately sends you a message. It's a bronze-level boss. I'll share my panel. Skills: Savage Bear Roar, Earth Stomp, Savage Charge. As expected of a level 10 bronze boss, these stats are absolutely insane. Normally, ordinary players can't even break its defense. These stats are absolutely insane. Normally, ordinary players can't even break its defense. Luckily, your attack power has already reached 6,452 without any damage reduction. One arrow can deal over 4,000 damage. Step back for a moment. I'll take on this boss. You sent a message to Dizzy Yao. Then, you activated the Silver Moon Longbow's active skill. Silver Moon Carnival activated. Attack speed increased to 200% for 10 seconds. Cooldown: 1 hour. Your current fire rate is roughly 1 arrow every 2 seconds. After activating the Silver Moon Longbow skill, you can attack over 10 times in 10 seconds. Besides that, you can use archer skills to deal double shot damage. Double heavy arrow fires 2 heavy arrows at a single target simultaneously. Each arrow deals 150% of attack power. Cost: 20 MP. Cooldown: 8 seconds. According to the skill description, this skill can deal 12,000 damage to the Savage Bear Guardian. You start with a basic attack, immediately followed by double heavy arrow. Then activate Silver Moon Carnival and start firing wildly. Once the 10 seconds are up, you use double heavy arrow again. Hiding in the Savage Bear Valley, Dizzy Yao only saw a dense flurry of damage numbers popping up over the Savage Bear Guardian's head. Then its health bar, like a bursting dam, plummeted rapidly until it was empty. It's been one-shot. Leveled up to 8. I thought one-shotting an iron-level boss was the limit for a pro player, but he can even one-shot a bronze boss. At that moment, the game notification rang in your ear. Congratulations! You have slain the bronze boss, Savage Bear Guardian. Your level has increased to 8. As the first player on the server to slay a bronze-level boss, your reputation plus 30. You received 1 golden grade equipment selection chest. You received 30 free attribute points. You received 1 universal skill book. Choice: your feat will be known across the entire Star Source continent. Do you wish to hide your name? No. Ding. Server announcement. Player 1 arrow 2 targets. Yao Yao gets motion sickness, is the first player on the server to slay a level 10 bronze boss. Another announcement echoed throughout the server. Every player grinding monsters was instantly shocked. You've got to be kidding me. A bronze boss and a level 10 one at that. At the wild boar grinding spot, Phantom, who was texting his sister, was also stunned. He thought his sister had been tricked, but she actually went to level up. She even killed a bronze-level boss. Once is an accident, twice means actual skill. But this brat kidnapped my sister. Yao Yao, where are you guys now? I'm coming to find you. Brother, you don't need to come. I've already returned to the village with a pro. He's going to help me upgrade my priest skills. Inside the novice village, you took Dizzy Yao to the priest mentor. You upgraded her healing art. After the upgrade, you transferred a piece of gear dropped by the bronze boss to her. Geothermal necklace, grade, iron, mana plus 10, mana recovery speed plus 30%. Dizzy Yao's sustain will be greatly improved. This will be a huge help for the unique quest you're about to undertake. Guardian leather armor, grade, silver, silver grade, equip level 10. Earth Guardian. Retain 1 HP upon receiving the first fatal blow. This is extremely useful for you, making your frail body a bit more durable. Besides the equipment, the Savage Bear Guardian also dropped over 600 copper coins. You gave them to Dizzy Yao. Following a pro is just great. After distributing the boss loot, you immediately used the universal skill book. Since it was a choice, you didn't hesitate to pick one of the universal skills. Split arrow, passive activated. Upon hitting a target, the arrow splits into 3 arrow shadows. The shadows automatically attack the nearest targets. Each shadow deals 80% of attack power as physical damage. The attack range of the shadows is 50% of the total range. Toggle cooldown 1 second. No cost. This is the only AoE skill archers have before level 10, and it's a highly practical toggleable passive. It's incredibly useful for you right now, because players are no longer as densely packed as they were at launch. You can no longer rely on a crowd of players to do the work for you. The current kill speed of other players is less efficient than your own rapid fire. Split arrow perfectly fulfills this need. After selecting the skill, you opened the golden equipment selection chest. Currently, you're only level 8, while most of the gear in the golden selection chest requires level 10 to equip. You carefully sifted through the pile of gear and finally chose a ring. Swift ring, grade gold. Skills or attacks used within 3 seconds of each other. Stack 1 layer of swift power. Each layer increases attack speed by 10%. Maximum 8 layers. In other words, as long as I keep the rhythm, I can be more than twice as fast as usual. This ring is well worth it when combined with the Silvermoon Longbow's Silvermoon Carnival. Your attack speed will, within 10 seconds, increase to 4 times the original speed. This level of burst damage, no boss at this stage could possibly withstand it. After equipping the Swift Ring and restocking 2,000 arrows at the weapon shop, you signaled Dizzy Yao to head out of the village. It's time to complete that unique quest. Shortly after they left, Phantom, who had walked back, rushed into the village. He searched the village for a long time but couldn't find his sister. Yao Yao, where are you? 1 arrow 2 targets took her. Give me back my sister. Oh my. Outside the village, you and Dizzy Yao were partying up and heading west. Along the way, you one-shot every monster you encountered. You didn't even bother picking up the dropped gear or copper coins, simply doing it to stack your talents. I wish my brother were here. He's incredibly fast. He wouldn't slow things down while looting. You paused. Hearing Dizzy Yao say that, you were suddenly tempted. That jerk Phantom has no other skills, but his ability to run is top tier. Lately, my range has been getting longer, so I always have to run a long way to loot. If I really have to run back and forth for a kilometer, it's a complete waste of time. But what if someone did the looting for me? Yao Yao, where's your brother now? He's in the Novice village right now. Why? Send him the coordinates. Tell him to come over. Understood. Coordinates sent. Let's keep moving. With Yu Ying's speed, he'll catch up in no time. Sure enough, in less than 5 minutes, Yao Yao tells you her brother has arrived. Hearing this, you stop in your tracks. A black figure appears in the distance, rushing toward you at an incredible speed. Yu Ying's legs are moving so fast they're a blur. He doesn't want to waste a single second. You brat. Stay away from my sister, or else. Before Yu Ying can finish, a wooden arrow strikes a deer nearby. Deer HP minus 6,841. Holy crap, Yu Ying's eyes nearly pop out of his head. He'd seen your damage before, but back then you couldn't even hit for 000. Now it's almost 7,000. Unbelievable. How is this guy getting even more ridiculous? What did you just say? Too far. Yeah. I mean, great God. Why did you call me here? Is there something you need? I mean, great God. Why did you call me here? Is there something you need? Oh, it's like this. Yao Yao said you're really fast, so I want you to help me loot equipment from a distance. I can't pick them all up myself. Loot equipment? I, the future Thief King with SS grade talent. No way. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. The equipment you loot. We split the gold 50-50 after selling. Not doing it is impossible now. Deal. Party invitation. Love you, sis. Plus, he just saw your damage output. He actually believes you can't keep up with the loot. At this stage, the demand for gear is huge. Under the strong promotion of governments worldwide, Star Source has become an explosive hit, but the drop rates in the game are touching. This means most players still don't have any decent gear to their name. even a top player like you, is still wearing beginner's cloth clothes. You can imagine how rigged the drop rates are. Ewing feels that for the sake of letting his sister live a good life, what's a little hard work and loss of face? With Ewing on board, you stop lingering, killing every monster in your path as you travel. Along the way, you finally witness Yu Ying's movement speed. He's actually faster than you. Keep in mind, with your gears bonus, your agility has reached 68. Normally, this stat is comparable to a level 10 full agility thief. He's faster than I imagined. Only level 4, yet at this speed, he can loot every single piece of gear. Just what is his talent? But one thing is certain, if he truly focuses on running, few could ever catch him. While you're surprised, Ewing is already overjoyed. Although Star Source's drop rate is low, your killing speed is simply too fast. With such sheer volume, the amount of loot is naturally substantial. This basic staff will sell for 80 copper. I'll buy Yao Yao a durian. Oh, another weapon. This one's 120 copper. I'll get Yao Yao some grilled fish. Whoa! Boots, perfect for Yao Yao's midnight snack. The three of them fight as they move, finally arriving at the volcano region in the far west of the beginner's village. Because you carry the sealing scroll, you have attracted the attention of Calder, the volcano demon. You will suffer continuous fire burn damage within the volcano region. The closer you get to the heart of the volcano, the stronger the burn. In your past life, the strategy for this demon had already been thoroughly researched. Luckily, there's a priest Yao Yao in the party, and now Ewing has joined. Clearing this dungeon will be a breeze. Ewing, go lure all the fire imps from the volcano area over here. No problem. Yao Yao, keep an eye on your brother. Yes. Don't worry. Great God. After giving the orders, you step back a few paces, leaving the volcano's range. As you retreat, the health loss numbers floating above your head vanish instantly. Ewing then charges gallantly into the volcano region. A moment later, a figure dashes out from behind a volcanic rock, with black smoke trailing from his backside.
I'm doomed.
Quick! Help me. These fire imps are long-range mages. Yao Yao, save me. Healing spell. A green light rises. Yu Ying's health bar is instantly filled. The upgraded healing spell is vastly stronger than the initial version. Ewing is clearly shocked by Yao Yao's healing output. Immediately, he's hit by a fireball from behind. Right then, an arrow flies in from the distance, landing precisely on the lead imp. Upon impact, the arrow instantly splits into 3, instantly obliterating the 3 imps beside it. In less than a second, 11 imps are wiped out on the spot before the remaining imps can react. Another arrow falls. Silence suddenly falls over the scene. Ewing looks at you in utter shock. He had tried his best to overestimate you along the way, but he realizes now he still underestimated you. Has he always been this powerful? You mean the great god? He's always been a beast. I have SS grade talent too, so why do I feel like I'm not even in the same league? The mobs are cleared. Next, we need to lure out the boss from inside the volcano. After a few instructions, you send Ewing to lure the monster, Calder the flame demon. While he's a field boss, he still has his own roaming territory, so pulling the boss out to fight is unrealistic. But you're different. Your range is already over 7,000 meters. That's enough to span the entire White Ear volcano. As long as Calder dares to show his face, you can one-shot him, and the tool Yu Ying's only purpose is to lure Calder out. A muffled boom echoes from inside the Sun Ear volcano, followed by billowing smoke soaring into the sky. Along with this momentum, a massive figure rises from the central magma. Puny mortal, how dare you disturb the slumber of the great Calder? Flame Demon Calder, Silver Grade Boss. Skills: Flame Roar, Summon Demon, Lava Burst. Calder's voice is like a giant bell, making the entire Sun Ear volcano tremble. Even players farming monsters in the distance could hear the commotion. The regional channel instantly erupts in excitement. He looks much stronger than the Savage Bear Guardian. In reality, only his health bar is higher. He poses no threat to me. The moment he appears, you start with a basic attack followed by a double heavy arrow. In the distance, the flame demon Calder roars incessantly, but he cannot leave the core area of the volcano, so he could only vent his rage on the ground. Calder slammed his massive palms onto the earth, shattering the surrounding volcanic rocks to pieces. Even the ground was caved in. After a few arrows, your attack speed began to stack. Seeing this, you immediately activated the equipment skill of the Silvermoon longbow. Silvermoon Revelry. Attack speed doubled. In that instant, the arrows in your hand suddenly accelerated. With an absurdly high firing rate, you launched an attack on the fire demon Calder. Dense damage numbers floated up from above the fire demon's head. His health bar plummeted like a bursting dam. Beside you, Shadow was completely stunned. In less than 30 seconds, the fire demon's HP was wiped out. I can't accept this. Lord Loran, I have failed. You have successfully defeated the fire demon Calder. Please seal his demon core as soon as possible. The demon core floated beside the corpse, emitting an evil, fiery glow. You took the sealing scroll and slapped it onto the core. You have successfully sealed the fire demon. Quest complete. Looking at the completed status of the unique quest, your heart raced with excitement. This first kill dropped 2 gold grade pieces of equipment and 1 gold grade item. Demon Staff grade, gold. Active, summon lesser demons. Summons 3 fire imps based on your mana to fight alongside you. Mana burn passive. Consumes double mana when casting, increasing spell power to 130%. Clearly, this is top-tier gear for a turret mage. The summoned imps can serve as meat shields, while mana burn boosts overall damage output. Demon Collar grade, gold. Active, demonic immunity. Removes all negative status effects upon activation. Cooldown 1 hour. Blood burn passive. While equipped, max HP becomes 90% of the original resistance plus 50. Besides the 2 pieces of equipment, there was 1 gold grade item. Demon's Whisper grade, gold. Single-use item. Confuses a designated enemy for 5 seconds upon use. With this item, it will be a huge help for your future plans. Only then did you notice that outside the volcanic area, it was already crowded with players. A tall, burly man with a full beard stepped out from the crowd. Hello there. I am Batian One Strike, Vice President of the Batian Guild. Were you the ones fighting this boss? Shadow and Yao remained silent, instead turning their gaze toward you. This made it immediately clear to Batian One Strike. It seems Double Standard is the leader of this trio. Brother Double Standard, interested in joining our Batian Guild? I can guarantee you a position as a hall master. As soon as he spoke, the crowd of onlookers erupted in gasps. Only a hall master for Brother Double Standard? Humph, why don't you stop calling yourself One Strike and call yourself One More Slash instead? The crowd gasped again. It's Yushin Dangtian, President of the Spirit God Guild. Double Standard. If you join the Spirit God Guild, I'll personally make you the first elder. And if you perform well, I can promote you to Vice President. Wow, Vice President. In my past life, the Spirit God Guild was truly vile, colluding with evil gods. The bloody images of their betrayal are still fresh in my mind. And now they actually want to invite me? How pathetic. If I didn't have to go back and hand in the quest, I'd initiate a PK and one-shot Yushin Dangtian right now. Sorry everyone. I have no intention of joining a guild. You accepted Batian One Strike's friend request, and then crushed your return scroll. Seeing you return to town without even glancing at the Spirit God Guild, Yushin Dongtian's face immediately darkened. As the crowd dispersed, news of Double Standard killing another boss and rejecting the top guild's invitations spread rapidly across the forums. Naturally, you had no time to care. By now, you had already returned to the village. Village Chief, I've completed the quest. The chief took it and had a look. I knew you were a true warrior. This is the reward you deserve. Ha 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 ha. Ding. You have completed the unique quest. Volcanic Demon. Confirm you have obtained the unique item. Angel Wings. Angel Wings can be soul-bound. Once bound, you can control the wings to fly freely, upgradable. That coveted unique equipment from my past life can only be obtained by the first person to complete the unique quest. With a single thought, the wings on your back fluttered slightly, and you soared into the air. Players nearby doing quests began to shout in amazement. Experiencing flight for the first time, you were overjoyed. It wasn't until half an hour later that you reluctantly descended. Congratulations. Your level has increased to 10. You looked slightly dazed. In your previous life, it took about 10 full days to reach level 10. But in this life, it only took 2 days. Server announcement. A player has reached level 10. The level leaderboard is now open. The announcement left all the players stunned. You've got to be kidding me. I'm only level 4 and someone is already level 10? Is the gap really that huge? You've got to be kidding me. I'm only level 4 and someone is already level 10? Is the gap really that huge? Oh, it's the great double standard. Never mind then. At a level 6 grinding spot, Yushin Dongtian's expression was grim. Double standard is too great a threat. Since he cannot be used for my benefit, then he must be destroyed. I'll go and investigate him thoroughly. If he truly refuses to cooperate, don't worry, President. I've got this handled. You sent a screenshot of the demon staff to Batian One Strike. Although there is an auction house in Star Source, the auction house takes a 10% commission fee. Every penny saved is a penny earned. Shortly after you sent the screenshot, Batian One Strike replied, I'll offer 100,000 copper coins for that piece of gear. Just name the place, and we'll trade directly. Send someone to the entrance of the Novice village to trade. A moment later, you saw a youth named Batian Little Whirlwind running toward you. Upon seeing you, he was exceptionally polite. The two of them quickly completed the trade. Batian Little Whirlwind didn't dare leave the village, and ran straight toward the warehouse in the center of town. From this moment on, you could finally focus on stacking your talents in peace. First, you flew above the level 0 rabbits, and relying on your extreme attack range, and the AoE effect of split arrow, you cleared the entire grinding spot of rabbits in under 2 minutes. Then, following the same method, you cleared the level 1 grinding spot. Meanwhile, you contacted Yao, who was feeling carsick, and gave her a set of coordinates, telling her to take her brother, Shadow, and wait there. By the time you flew to the target location, your talent stacks had already exceeded 10,000 layers. When you descended from the sky before Yao and Shadow, the siblings' eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. You soon arrived at the place, not far from where the fire demon was slain. In a small valley formed by volcanic ash, you took out the sealing scroll processed by the village chief. Ding! Residual aura of the fire demon detected in this area. Would you like to use the sealing scroll to open the teleportation interface? Open. Server announcement. Player double standard. The dungeon Demon's Breath has opened. All players level 5 and above can enter the dungeon. Less than 30 seconds after it opened, a notification popped up in your friend list. Bro, our guild wants the first clear of this dungeon. Can you give us a hand? Bro, our guild wants the first clear of this dungeon. Can you give us a hand? Just name your price. Sure, but I handle the loot distribution, and 100,000 copper coins afterward. No problem. Batian One Slash agreed without a second thought. As long as they get the first clear, the server-wide announcement is worth more than any amount of advertising money. While Batian One Slash was on his way, players leveling up nearby started to arrive. They recognized you three almost immediately. A few pretty female players approached right away. Hey pro, wanna party up? Our team is all girls. I'm a priest. My healing is top tier, and my DPS is insane. What an amazing bow. Can I take a look? Seeing this Yao Yao beside you, her pride was practically soaring. She felt like others were eyeing her precious treasure. Batian One Slash didn't keep you waiting long. To prevent other guilds from stealing the first clear, he quickly arrived with 8 guild members. He added Yun Nai Yao and the Batian guild members to the party. Once we're in, follow my lead. I guarantee you'll get the first kill safely. Don't worry, I've already told them. If anyone doesn't listen, just kick them. Double standard pro. I'm not even in the party yet. The Batian guild can loot. I don't need you for now. With that, you led the way into the dungeon, leaving Yuing completely bewildered. You one arrow double standard. Running off with my sister again. This is infuriating. Ding. Entering Demon's Breath. Please select difficulty. Hell mode. Difficulty selected. Teleporting. Following the system prompt, your group was instantly transported into the hell mode of Demon's Breath. As soon as you entered, a blast of searing heat hit you, making everyone feel uneasy. That's when the Batian guild members noticed something was wrong. Why are we in hell mode? Bro, double standard. This is hell mode. The items I need only drop in hell mode. Hearing this, Batian One Slash shut his mouth instantly, but the other Batian guild members couldn't hold back. Though they stayed silent outwardly, they were complaining non-stop in their private chat. What is Arrow Double Standard doing? Though they stayed silent outwardly, they were complaining non-stop in their private chat. What is Arrow Double Standard doing? choosing the highest difficulty without even a trial run. Is he trying to kill us? Let's just try it first. Since he dared to pick this difficulty, he must be confident. Hearing Batian 1/ say that, the others had no choice but to keep quiet for now. Naturally, you were unaware that the Batian Guild was gossiping about you in their group chat. Your focus was now entirely on the dungeon's information, the hell mode of Demon's Breath. You had cleared it in your previous life. However, you had fallen before the final boss. That boss was a hard counter to melee attacks, preventing you from performing and leading to a total wipe. But things are different now. Holding the Silver Moon longbow, you spoke to the player dressed as a rogue. Rogue, go ahead and pull the mobs. Healer, keep an eye on his HP. Everyone else, get ready to loot. The rogue pulls? Shouldn't the full HP warrior tank the damage? Fine. As expected of the Batian Guild's elite members, despite their dissatisfaction with the Hell mode choice and your strange commands, their overall gaming skill was excellent. Pulling, kiting, and healing, the whole process was seamless. The rogue had now pulled a horde of demons. Upon seeing the rogue, these humanoid demons roared and charged. The rogue looked tense. These demons had high attack but low defense. If he took even 2 hits, he might die on the spot. Seeing this, the full HP warrior stepped up to tank. But then you raised your bow and fired 3 arrows in a second. With the combination of double heavy arrow and split arrow, massive damage numbers erupted over the molten demons' heads. Every single hit dealt over 10,000 damage. In an instant, the 7 or 8 molten demons chasing the rogue were obliterated, leaving behind a pile of loot and copper coins. Everyone present was stunned. What's happening? Damage over 10k? One-shot kills. Even Batian 1/ was left speechless. He knew you were strong, but he didn't expect you to be that strong. Regardless, your strength finally put their minds at ease. What are you staring at? Go loot the gear. The group snapped out of it. The full HP warrior was the first to rush forward, to pick up the dropped equipment. As for the rogue, he continued to lure out mobs, pulling every molten demon out. In less than a minute, all the molten demons in the valley were wiped out. This clearing efficiency, even the veteran elite members of the Batian Guild were utterly speechless. I don't need any of this gear. Make me an offer. Batian 1/ was straightforward, offering a fair price based on gold tier equipment. You didn't haggle much. The group pushed forward and soon arrived outside a cavern. Entering the cavern, a swarm of demons hanging from the ceiling caught everyone's attention. You raised your bow and fired. Then, you combined double heavy arrow with split arrow and followed up with basic attacks, instantly obliterating the nearest cluster of gargoyle demons. The group was dizzy with shock once again. If every dungeon could be cleared like this, it would be absolutely incredible. Wow, Brother One Arrow is so amazing. The group continued deeper and deeper, until they soon found 3 tunnel openings ahead. You knew the middle tunnel was where the boss resided. The left and right ones held the prerequisite switches. Without hesitation, you entered the left cave. After walking for less than 3 minutes, the view suddenly opened up. A massive underground chamber appeared before them. In the very center of the chamber stood a majestic flame altar. In the center of the altar stood a petrified demon. Behind the demon was a lever-like switch. To enter the boss room, that switch had to be pulled. Only a long rope bridge connected the entrance to the altar. Below the bridge was an endless void of darkness. This stage required someone to cross the bridge and step onto the altar. Once the demon awakens, it will destroy the bridge. Therefore, whoever crosses, unless they can kill the demon before the bridge is destroyed, is certain to die. The rogue who had been pulling mobs stepped forward and said, "I'll do it. My movement speed is fast. Maybe I can distract it." The rogue who had been pulling mobs stepped forward and said, "Let me do it. My movement speed is fast. Maybe I can distract it." You nod, signaling that they can pull the mob. Seeing this, the rogue player immediately rushed toward the central altar. The moment he crossed the rope bridge and stepped onto the altar, a dull roar echoed in everyone's ears.
Below mans.
The great fire demon Lord Loran is not someone you can disturb. The statue instantly came to life. At the same time, raging flames erupted from its body. Demon Guard Chunode, Elite, level 10. This distance is too far. Can the pro even hit the demon? Everyone was stunned by these words. Just as everyone was worrying, you had already drawn your bow. A common wooden arrow was notched on the Silver Moon longbow. Then, with a whoosh, it flew out. Everyone's eyes were glued to the wooden arrow until it struck the demon guard. Demon guard HP -12, 248. The damage number is out. He can hit it. Damnable insect, come and fight me. Under your assault, the demon guard lasted less than 8 seconds before falling in defeat. 100,000, 1,000 as the boss fell. A pile of equipment burst out. Fortunately, the rogue player who was responsible for drawing aggro didn't die. He quickly scrambled to pick up the gear. You ignored several useless black iron and silver items, but kept one silver scepter. The stats of this silver item were mediocre, but its resurrection skill was extremely useful. Give that scepter to Yao Yao. When the young girl received the silver equipment, she felt dizzy with shock. The pro gave such high-grade gear without even blinking, and just gave it to her. Once activated, the target will be granted a resurrection state. It's actually this kind of skill. Amazing. After distributing the gear, you had the rogue pull the lever, and then led everyone back to the original three-way junction. Then, you chose the rightmost path, just like the previous guard altar. There was another demon guard guarding the altar here, just like the previous guard altar. There was another demon guard guarding the altar here. You did the same thing, slaying it before the guard could destroy the rope bridge. This time, a few more silver items and a pile of black iron gear dropped. However, this gear was useless to you, so you had Ba Tiani Dao sell it all for cash. Once both altar switches were activated, your party was finally about to face the final boss, heading down through the central cave. After a while, the party arrived at a underground cavern that was several times larger than the previous two spaces. The difference was, there were no altars or demons in this cavern, only a stone staircase leading down from the entrance, while below was churning, scorching lava. In the center of the lava, a massive demon head lay with its eyes closed. This was the boss of this dungeon, the fire demon Loran. At the edge of the lava, there were a few small platforms barely enough for 3 or 4 people. Other than that, there were no other places to stand. In your past life, you stood on these small platforms to fight the boss, but back then you were a warrior, and your reach was far too short. Even though you pushed your abilities to the absolute limit, you ultimately couldn't escape the boss's lava bombardment. In this life, the roles of offense and defense have reversed. Someone go pull the boss out. No way, it's too narrow down there. I can't move freely. I'll go. Ultimately, another archer in the team took on the task. He followed the stone steps to the bottom, then fired a double heavy arrow at the demon's head. But it only dealt 5 damage to the demon. 2 blood-red single digits floated up from the demon's head, making the archer blush with embarrassment. Compared to your damage, which often hit tens of thousands, his damage numbers were simply pathetic. Ba Tiani Dao also felt humiliated seeing this. Stealing a glance at you, seeing you had no reaction, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. After taking damage, the slumbering boss finally awoke. Who dares disturb the slumber of the great Loran? I shall make you pay the price. With a low roar, the demon in the lava gradually revealed its form. Unlike the giant size you fought outside, this fire demon cold was only about 5 meters tall, but its stats were significantly higher than before. This fire demon cold was only about 5 meters tall, but its stats were significantly higher than before. Reborn from Flames Fire Demon Loran, Silver Grade Boss. Reborn from Flames Level 10. Reborn from Flames Demon King Form. Skills: Flame Roar, Summon Demon Lava, Burst, Giant's Body, Reborn from Flames. When the fire demon's exaggerated stats were presented before everyone, everyone fell silent. Is this thing even beatable by humans? We're going to die here. Stop talking nonsense, but look at him. Everyone turned their gaze toward you. You had already drawn your bowstring. An arrow flew from your hand, accurately striking the fire demon below. A damage value appeared on the demon. HP -9. 754. 9. 700. The fire demon's aggro was immediately drawn to you. Damnable insect. You've made me angry. Get back, Yao Yao. A flame explosion erupted, followed by screams. The teammate icons in the party instantly turned black. Only Yun Na Yao standing beside you survived. Everyone else, including Ba Tian Dao, was one shot. "Hold on to me," you told Yun Na Yao, then flew toward the highest point of the cavern. Yun Na Yao was terrified, her hands gripping your arm tightly. You carried her to the highest point of the cavern, a full 500 meters away from the fire demon standing in the lava. At this distance, none of the fire demon's attacks could reach you. You immediately took up your bow, relentlessly sniping the roaring fire demon below. Unable to reach you, the fire demon could only roar helplessly, smashing the surrounding lava into splashes. Meanwhile, the Ba Tian Guild's private chat was exploding. "What the hell is that damage? I'm a full HP warrior and I got one shot. Can the pro actually beat the boss? He's not dead yet. He's still fighting the monster. Buffs fully activated. Silver Moon Carnival, begin. Final blessing. May the light protect you. Succeed." "I will." After Yao Yao cast the resurrection state on you, the fire demon unleashed a full-screen attack. Without any survival skills, Yao Yao's HP bar was instantly wiped. But this bought you a precious window for damage. You shifted and dodged through the air like a ghost. Laurent was now like a raging lion, but his attacks could no longer touch you. You began employing kiting tactics. With your agile positioning, Laurent's HP continued to drop, finally reaching the boss's execution threshold. Without hesitation, you charged and delivered the final blow. The wiped-out team couldn't help but worry about you, but before they could respawn, a game notification rang in their ears. Your team has successfully cleared the dungeon. Cleared the hell dungeon? No way. Double standard, Yao Yao gets car sick. Heavenly Blade. Heavenly Strength when a player first clears the hell-level dungeon Breath of the Demon. Their achievement will be recorded across the Star Origin continent. The server-wide announcement completely left Heavenly Blade and his team stunned. From the moment they pulled the mobs until now, it had only been about 3 minutes. Yet the terrifying final boss had actually been slain by you. This is just way too fast. Meanwhile, in another normal-level dungeon, Roaming God was leading his guild's elite squad in a fierce battle against the final boss. Unlike the hell level, the normal boss stood on a large flat area. Its stats were worlds apart. As long as the aggro was managed, it wasn't too hard. Guild leader, looks like the first kill belongs to our Roaming God guild. Yeah, exactly. A smirk appeared on Roaming God's horse-like face. That idiot Heavenly Blade is probably still kissing Double Standard's ass. Player, Double Standard. Heavenly Blade Guild has achieved the first kill of Breath of the Demon. A member nearby suddenly widened his eyes and shouted, "Leader, they cleared the hell level." The elite members fighting the boss were shocked. Their movements instinctively lagged for a split second. As a result, the frenzied boss instantly obliterated several squishy classes, then smashed the tank to death in one hit. Out of control, the entire team was quickly wiped out. At the dungeon entrance, Roaming God gripped tightly with his right hand, squeezing a member's cheek with a distorted face. "Who told you to shout so loud?" "Leader, I'm sorry. It hurts. It hurts." Ding. You have slain the silver boss. Flame. Demon Kaldor. Experience gained 0. You curled your lip. After level 10 only by completing the novice trial and entering the main city. Can you continue to gain experience? The reason you stayed here was partly for the first clear rewards, and partly for the hidden gold boss, hidden in the novice village. The others appeared at the dungeon entrance. You glanced at the equipment in your inventory. Then you sold 1 piece of gold equipment, and 4 pieces of silver equipment to Heavenly Blade, while you kept 2 pieces for yourself. Flame Boots. Grade Gold. Equipment level 10. Active Flame Path. For 10 seconds, the areas you move through will leave a trail of fire, dealing to enemies walking on the path 50 points of burn damage per second. Cooldown 1 hour. Hellstone Necklace. Grade Gold. Mana plus 50. Resistance plus 20. Magic recovery speed plus 20%. Active Hellfire Ring. Consumes 30% of max mana to cast a ring of fire defense around yourself, temporarily increasing resistance by 100 points and blocking 100 points of ranged attack damage until the ring is broken. Great God Double Standard. I'm truly grateful to you. The first kill was almost snatched by the roaming god guild. Just a fair trade. You said goodbye to Heavenly Blade, gave a few instructions to Dizzy Yao, then logged off. Before logging off, you checked the level rankings. You were still at the top. In second place was Dizzy Yao. Because she had been following you, she had gained a significant amount of experience, and had already reached level 9. In third place was Phantom. This kid had also followed you for a while. His current level was 8. Taking off the helmet, you picked up your phone and checked your bank balance. When you saw the 7-figure balance, a genuine smile finally appeared on your face. Then you spent 990,000 online to order a gaming pod. Unlike the gaming helmet, the gaming pod allows 2 extra hours of play. For other players, it might just be a bit more XP. But for you, it's 2 more hours of stacking talents. You couldn't afford it before. Now that you have the money, you won't waste such an opportunity. The staff were very efficient. Not long after you finished dinner and returned, someone arrived to install it. After an hour or so, the pod was successfully installed. With the pod, you could log back in. After logging in, you went to the village chief. You've come. Village chief, I want to take the novice trial. Very well. What difficulty would you like for your trial? The result of this trial will directly affect your future growth path. Please choose carefully. The red warning text was glaringly bright, but you didn't care at all. You focused your attention on the selection panel that popped up. Hell difficulty. Monster HP 6400%. All stats 300%. I choose Hell difficulty. Upon hearing this, the smiling village chief's expression changed instantly. Young man, I urge you to reconsider. I've already made up my mind. Seeing your persistence, the village chief said no more. He only said one thing. Good luck, child. And activated the teleport for you. A pale blue teleportation array rose beneath your feet. In the next second, your figure vanished from the village. With a flash of light, you found yourself in
a dimly lit underground plaza.
The entire plaza was about the size of 2 football fields. You stood at the very edge of the plaza. The game notification sounded. Player double standard. You are currently undergoing the Hell level trial. Your opponent this time is the Berserker Growl. As the notification faded, the Berserker opposite you snapped his eyes open. His blood-red pupils stared intensely at you. Are you the challenger? Berserker Growl. Level. Skill. Frenzy. Demon God's Blood Rage. Blood Stimulation. Even though you were mentally prepared, after seeing Berserker Growl's stats, you couldn't help but swallow hard. The stats really are terrifying, but the plan should work. Even now, your heart was trembling. Fortunately, on the forums of your past life, someone had posted Berserker Growl's stats and researched a way to defeat him, which was to exploit the Berserker's weakness of having no ranged attacks and kite him, and the most convenient way was undoubtedly flying in the sky. This is also why you absolutely had to obtain the angel wings. Just as you stood there frozen, a streak of blood-red sword chi lunged straight for your face. You snapped back to reality and quickly dodged. Holy crap, the sword chi slammed into the stone wall, carving out a massive gash. You looked up to see Grawl holding his greatsword before him, his face twisted with rage. In the presence of the great Lord Grawl, how dare you lose focus? Your expression grew solemn as the shadow of angel wings suddenly appeared behind you. Then you soared upward rapidly, reaching the very top of the underground plaza. By now, the Berserker Grawl had fully awakened and was charging straight toward you, but with the help of the angel wings, you had already taken flight. The vertical distance between you exceeded 50 meters. You raised your hand and fired 30 for 158. Thanks to your hard work over the past few days, your passive talent had stacked to over 31,000 points. Hitting the Berserker Grawl now dealt a staggering amount of damage. You continued to draw your bow, creating a rain of arrows, but a casual swing of Grawl's sword chi blocked them all. Come on, insect. Show me everything you've got. You continued to draw your bow, creating a rain of arrows, but a casual swing of Grawl's sword chi blocked them all. Come on, insect. Show me everything you've got. Seeing that the attacks were useless, you immediately activated the skill Silver Moon Carnival. Attack speed increased by 200%, and you kept firing. Grawl held his greatsword horizontally, blocking the majority of the arrows, but some still managed to hit, dealing some damage. Are you just scratching Lord Grawl's itch? Your expression remained cold and silent. The bowstring in your hand blurred from speed. A dense rain of arrows poured down on Grawl, but he blocked them all with a few casual swipes. I'm done playing with you, Berserk. With a thunderous roar from Grawl, he activated the skill, Berserk. You looked at Grawl with a grim expression. As Grawl swung his sword, a wave of sword chi that spanned the entire plaza surged toward you. You scrambled to dodge. The sword chi shattered the stone wall behind you. You were horrified. What the hell is this power? As Grawl swung his sword repeatedly, countless blood-red sword waves rained down on you. You frantically flapped your wings, dodging desperately in the air. Like a startled bird, you dodged wildly through the dense barrage of chi. Every time the chi hit the wall, it produced a massive boom. Seeing your pathetic state, Grawl couldn't help but mock you. What's wrong, little bug? Can't take it already? You stepped out from the rubble, brushed the dust off your clothes, and said coldly, "Then let me show you my full power." What nonsense are you talking about? Lunar God, with a loud shout, a silver-white magic circle enveloped you. The angel wings behind you folded inward, wrapping you in a silver-white cocoon. 2 seconds later, the cocoon shattered into points of light. Now then, let the game truly begin. This is the Lunar God form unlocked only by collecting both the Silver Moon Longbow and Angel Wings. It is your true trump card as a regressor. O Spirit of the Moon, please answer my call. This is the exclusive skill of the Lunar Descent state. Soul Sever. The skill deals 200% of the user's attack power as true damage, plus 1/8 of the enemy's maximum HP. The arrow shot violently toward Grawl. Grawl hurriedly blocked with his greatsword. The lunar arrow collided with the greatsword, triggering a terrifying shockwave. As the smoke cleared, Grawl's health bar had dropped by 3/4. You hovered in the sky, looking down at Grawl, who was half kneeling, gasping for air, with a playful glint in your eyes. What's wrong, Lord Grawl? You don't seem that impressive after all. You've got some skill, insect, but do you really think this can defeat me? I am the Berserker Grawl. You've got some skill, insect, but do you really think this can defeat me? I am the Berserker Grawl. Your expression turned serious. As a red pillar of light shot into the sky, you drew your bow once more to charge, and fired another lunar arrow. The light pillar dissipated, and Grawl appeared before you, in an entirely new form. Didn't expect this, did you? I have a second phase too. This is Grawl's passive skill, Demon God's Blood Rage. When Grawl takes a certain amount of damage, he transforms into the Demon God form. Just then, your arrow was about to hit him. Grawl plunged his greatsword into the ground, and a pillar of fire erupted instantly. The lunar arrow was deflected by the pillar. Seeing this, your eyes narrowed. He's even tougher now. I'll settle this. With this next move, you raised the Silver Moon Longbow, drew the string to the limit and began charging. O Spirit of the Moon, transform into a divine dragon, and devour the enemy before me, you chanted while charging, firing a divine dragon condensed from lunar spirits. On the other side, Grawl knelt on one knee, and began chanting an ancient spell. Father God, grant me strength. Grawl raised his greatsword, and a blood-red sword wave erupted from the ground. Grawl swung it forward, colliding with the dragon. An energy storm instantly swept across the entire plaza. The divine dragon devoured the sword chi, turning into a red and white shockwave, kicking up a massive cloud of smoke. The smoke cleared. Grawl was lying on the ground, wailing in agony. I can't accept this. Then Grawl's health bar hit 0, and his body dissolved into points of light. A crown shimmering with iridescent light slowly descended. You flew down from the sky to the ground. With a flash of silver light, you deactivated the lunar god state, and returned to your leather armor. Just as you were about to check the gear, the system's voice rang in your ear. Server-wide announcement. Player 1 Arrow Double Standard is the first to complete the Hell Mode Novice trial, earning the unique title, Star of Hope. The announcement echoed 3 times. Once again, began igniting, a wave of frenzy among all players. What's going on with this novice trial? These rewards are way too good. Choice of hidden class, choice of growth gear, and even a choice of skills. I wouldn't even dare dream of rewards like these. Can anyone tell me just how strong this double standard god actually is? Even you Shindang Tian looks pale now. Someone like this, can they really be destroyed? Ding. Since you passed the hell level trial, the free attributes gained from leveling up will be increased to 4 times the original. Your reality projection rate has increased to 10%. What? Projection has been activated early? What? Projection has been activated early? As a regressor, no one knows better than you what this projection rate means. Every player's strength in Star Source will eventually be projected into reality. You remember, after the first person reached the projection strength of class advancement, game monsters began appearing in reality. I wonder if my early projection will affect the real world. Since I can't change it, I have no choice but to become stronger. Pulling your thoughts back, your gaze falls on the crown dropped by Grell. Crown of the Titan God King. Required level 0. Growth grade common. Skill. Heart of the Titan.
Max HP plus 10%.
HP recovery speed plus 10%. Remaining unlocked skills. 4. After reading the equipment description, you feel a surge of excitement. It's actually growth-type equipment. Without any hesitation, you directly replace the equipped demon collar with the crown of the Titan God King. Your attributes receive a massive boost. Now you open your character attribute panel. Compared to when you wore the demon collar, your HP has increased by nearly 1,000, and your defense has nearly doubled. It's safe to say, most people at this stage can't even break your defense. Would you like to hide the equipment's appearance? Hide. After hiding the equipment, you teleport out of the trial grounds. You immediately spot the village chief, eyes wide with shock. You grin. Village chief, I passed the trial. The village chief snaps back to reality, looking at you with a complex expression. I never imagined that in my lifetime, I would see a young hero like you. I admit that before, I underestimated you. As he speaks, in the village chief's eyes, a glimmer of hope appears. In that case, there is something I hope you can help with. Ding. Beginner Village number 23333 is commissioning you for a mythic grade chain quest, Past of Star Source. Do you accept? You are shaken. In your previous life, this mythic quest was taken by the only person who cleared the nightmare level trial. He was also the strongest in Star Source. According to him, he had to beg and plead to get this quest from the village chief. But for me, the village chief is requesting it himself. Hell level and nightmare level. There really is a world of difference. After you make your choice, the village chief speaks again. I knew I wasn't wrong about you. You truly are a trustworthy person. Actually, our village's original mission was to suppress a sleeping demon. Even today, its heartbeat still echoes underground. Over thousands of years, the seal's strength has weakened. The demon is awakening and about to break the seal. That flame demon I asked you to seal in the west was actually just the demon's aura, polluting the volcanic lava. Following the village chief's narration, the game notification soon rings out. Ding. Beginner Village number 23333. The village chief is issuing a mythic grade chain quest, the sealed demon. Do you accept? Ding. Beginner Village number 23333. The village chief is issuing a mythic grade chain quest, the sealed demon. Do you accept? Quest description. Defeat the demon and force it back to sleep. Without hesitation, you accept the quest again. Take this token. It will guide you into the heart of the seal. Ding. Obtain Seal Key 1. Seal Key. Quest Item Description. At a specific location in Beginner Village number 23333, use it to enter a sealed space. After bidding farewell to the village chief, you head toward the coordinates specified by the key. The Beginner Village isn't large, and in just a moment, you arrive at the center of the village. A statue stands here, with features that are impossible to discern. Around the statue, many players are setting up stalls to sell equipment and materials. Your arrival doesn't attract much attention. When you approach the statue with the key, a game notification pops up. Ding! You have arrived at the target location. Do you wish to use the key to enter the sealed realm? Yes. As the word falls, a blue light illuminates your body. In an instant, you vanish from the spot. Did that person just disappear? What's so strange about that? He probably just used a teleportation scroll. With a flash of white light, you find yourself standing before a dark underground passage. Around the passage, glowing stones are embedded in the walls. It is these faint light sources that keep this underground passage from being pitch black. The passage leads downward, and the air blowing toward you gradually becomes warm. After walking for an unknown amount of time, the path suddenly opens up. A massive underground plaza appears before you. Around the plaza, a faint golden light curtain envelopes the area, separating the outside from the inside. In the very center of the plaza, a giant cage sits there, and inside the cage, a gaunt figure is imprisoned. In his body, 3 spears emitting a faint golden light are thrust. One spear pierces completely through, pinning that gaunt figure firmly to the ground. Is this the sealed demon? At this moment, the gaunt figure seems to have sensed you, slowly raising his head. You are stunned for a moment upon seeing his appearance. In your mind, a demon should have a ferocious face and horns growing from its head. But this person before you has no demonic traits at all. Not a ferocious face or horns on the head. He is clearly a human. You lapdogs are truly dedicated. Over 1,000 years, and you still haven't forgotten your master's orders. While you are dazed, the other party continues speaking on his own. You don't carry the scent of those lapdogs. You are a new descendant. That's right, you aren't a lapdog. You are a descendant. That's right, you aren't a lapdog. You are a descendant. I didn't expect Star Source to welcome another descender. A descender. Lord Descender. He muttered to himself, but it sent shockwaves through your heart. The term descender, you had heard it countless times in your past life. Those who would call players this were only the natives of the Star Source continent, the Star Source people. In other words, he isn't a demon at all, but a Star Source native. But why did the village chief say that a demon was sealed? Wait, could it be? Your memories surged back rapidly, and soon, from a forgotten corner, you unearthed a rumor you'd heard once. Legend has it that, in a certain secret realm, there is a stone tablet. The tablet records an event from 10,000 years ago that changed the fate of the entire Star Source continent. And this event can be summarized in just 8 words. Foreign invasion, racial extinction, recalling the stories of the Star Source people you'd seen and heard of in your past life. They were indeed only encountered in secret realms or dungeons. Then there were a few wandering souls, but not a single one existed in the outside world. And every Star Source person you met was doing the same thing. They were helping the players. This was a consensus among the player community. Even after monsters descended into reality, some Star Source natives also descended to help players fight off the monsters. To put it in the words of some players from your past life, you can doubt an NPC, but you can never doubt a Star Source native. Now, here's the problem. So, my mythic quest is actually to kill a friendly Star Source native, right? I just need to check his attributes. Demon Lord Vanel. Increasing life and defense Demon Lord Vanel. Gold tier boss. Increasing life and defense level 10. Increasing life and defense skills. Increasing life and defense Embrace of Blazing Fire. Embrace of Blazing Fire Ancient Demonic Tongue. Troll's Body. Before you could finish reading the status panel, Vanel spoke up. Unfortunately, you're just a weak basic class user. You're too weak. Bring the powerhouses of your kind. I don't speak with the weak. You were stunned, feeling looked down upon. You let out a cold sneer and launched a basic attack straight at Vanel, plus a double-shot heavy arrow. The exaggerated damage made Vanel's eyes bulge out instantly. Before he could say another word, you had already activated Silver Moon Carnival and began firing arrows frantically at Vanel's face. By the time Vanel snapped out of his initial confusion, over a dozen wooden arrows were already stuck in his face. Stop it right now. How dare you be disrespectful to the great Archmage Vanel? Little brother, stop shooting. Stop it. Stop shooting. My face can't hold any more. Vanel was completely numb. In all his long life, this was the first time he'd seen a basic class user without a job change possess such destructive power. Seeing the wooden arrows covering Vanel's face, you finally felt a sense of satisfaction. Speak your piece.
I'm listening.
Speak your piece.
I'm listening.
Whimpering. Wait, let me catch my breath. Vanel spoke with a sob in his voice. Heaven knows how a dignified archmage could be tortured to this state. By now, his health bar had dropped to around January 5th. It was my mistake. I didn't expect you to have such strength. I apologize for my previous rudeness. Cut the crap and get to the point. The village chief and the Star Source native. Which one of them is lying? At this, Vanel spoke. Your eyes are currently clouded by the secret key. As long as you discard the key, you will see the truth. Hearing this, you hesitated for a moment, then tossed the secret key out of your inventory. After the key was discarded, Vanel's status panel indeed changed. Blazing Archmage Vanel, Ancient Star Source Clan, Level 10. Skills: Embrace of Blazing Fire, Ancient Star Source Tongue, Fire Spirit Body. The stats on the panel remained the same, but the character and skill names had changed. This was his true identity. It seems you have already seen through the truth. The person who gave you the key must be a descendant of the Guardian. He asked you to defeat me, didn't he? Yeah. He certainly knows how to choose. With your strength, you could indeed defeat me. However, he and you descenders are ultimately not of the same path. You might not understand. I understand. Once, your people were the rulers of the Star Source continent. You simply failed to stop the foreign invasion. Vanel was stunned. He stared straight at you, as if wondering how you knew about this. After a long while, a sincere smile appeared on his face. It seems, the chance for my clan to return to Star Source has arrived. Young man, since you are aware of the history of those invaders, you should know what needs to be done. If possible, I beg you to restore the original glory of the Star Source continent. Ding! Blazing Archmage Vanel has issued a mythic tier chain quest to you, Reclamation of Star Source, except you were stunned. Another mythic tier chain quest. Quests of this level were things you'd only seen on forums before. Now they were appearing before you one after another. Is this the treatment top tier players get? If I accept this, do I need to abandon the previous quest? Do I have to give it up? Theoretically, yes, but I can let you complete both simultaneously. How? Simple. Kill me. Simple. Kill me. As Vanel said this, a smile of relief appeared on his face, as if he were talking about something that didn't concern him, something that had nothing to do with him, as if he were talking about something completely unrelated to himself. You were somewhat moved, Vanel whispered to himself, and the smile on his face faded. He wore a look of reminiscence. Because of hope. All these years, I've seen the only glimmer of hope in you. That is why I am willing to give my life to aid you. I only ask that once you have the power, you reclaim the entire Star Source continent. You looked at Fan Lunar in silence for a long time. Finally, you gave a serious nod. I promise you, thank you. This is my final gift. As the words fell, a faint flame suddenly drifted from Fan Lunar's body. The small flame passed through the cage, pierced the pale gold shield, and came before you. Then, under your astonished gaze, it dove straight into your chest.
Obtained Fan Lunar's Origin 4.
Unlocked eligibility for General and Fire Magic. Magic power plus 500. Holy shit, Magic Archer. What Fan Lunar gave him was actually the ability to learn magic. Though it's only General and Fire Magic, it's more than enough for an archer, especially since Fire Magic is known for its wide area and massive power. This perfectly compensates for the archer's lack of wide area destructive capabilities. Fan Lunar really handed over a massive gift. I can see you're happy. Now you may finish it. Having lost my origin, cannot hold on much longer. You looked over and saw Fan Lunar, who seemed fine before, now looking like a withered corpse. His attributes had also plummeted drastically. Blazing Archmage Fan Lunar, near death, level 10. At this point, Fan Lunar's stats were barely different from a level 10 mob. Clearly, he had reached the end of his rope. Seeing this, you didn't hesitate. With one arrow, you ended Fan Lunar's suffering. Ding! You have slain Blazing Archmage Fan Lunar. You have completed Mythic Quest. Echoes of Star Source Eye. The game notification appeared, but you felt no joy in completing the quest. You checked the quest prompt from Fan Lunar. Reclaim Star Source. Go to the catacombs of the Baluan Mountains and find a dark elf named Flot. You were naturally familiar with the Baluan Mountains. They lie to the southeast of Evernight City. And Evernight City is one of the game's 8 main cities. It seems I must head to the main city first. After leaving the Novice village, you can bind to a corresponding main city. As your respawn point, close quest, you picked up the key from the ground again. Lunar is dead. There's no point in staying here any longer. With a single thought, the key made you vanish instantly. When you reappeared, you were back in front of that nameless statue. Time to turn in the quest. Approaching the village chief again. You couldn't help but look at him with suspicion. However, the chief showed no signs of anything unusual. Young man, you truly are a powerful warrior. You have completed the mythic quest, Echoes of Star Source. You have obtained the Holy Light Spring. It provides a massive boost to any holy type items, but it has the opposite effect on evil creatures. Seems like a valuable item. Just as you received the Holy Light Spring, you noticed the angel wings bound to your soul begin to throb with energy. You could clearly feel the angel wings upgrading rapidly. Once the bottle of Holy Light Spring was consumed, the angel wings, which originally had only 2, suddenly grew into 4 wings. Their power instantly doubled from the original base. For wings are too flashy. Better to keep the original form. At this moment, the second part of the Mythic Chain quest had updated. Echoes of Star Source. 2. Go to Holy Light City and find High Priest Olunbo. He will guide you to complete the quest. I've pretty much exhausted all the quests in the Novice Village. Now it's time to head to the main city. Checking the friend list. Yun Nayo and Ghost Shadow weren't online yet. You left a message for Yun Nayo, telling her to complete the high difficulty novice trials if possible. As one of the top 3 healers from his past life, he didn't mind showing Yun Nayo this kind of casual kindness. As for Ghost Shadow, it was purely because of how efficient he was at looting gear. Arriving at the Novice Village's teleportation array. After selecting the main city you wanted to visit, your figure vanished from the array. Passing players were shocked to see this. Looks like a total powerhouse. He's the only level 10 in our Novice Village. I can't wait to see the main city too. I heard there's even a red light district. Let's go. Teleporting to Evernight City. Evernight City will be bound as your main respawn city. Proceed. The next second, you appeared at Evernight City's teleportation array. Unlike the bustling Novice Village, the vast Evernight City was surprisingly desolate. Aside from the occasional NPC guards on the street, there were only a few residents wandering around. A moment later, you arrived before a towering building. The Profession Guild. This is the class change point where all players must come. Of course, you didn't come here to change classes. You had a hidden class selection scroll. There was no way you'd switch to an ordinary class. The reason you came here was to learn fire magic. You knew that many fire magic spells possessed area of effect damage. Learning a few would ensure his talent didn't stack too slowly. I want to learn magic from you, as long as you meet the requirements. Your eyes lit up the moment you saw Fire Whirlwind. That was the primary mob clearing skill for fire mages. It was one of the best among all magic spells. It could easily serve as the main skill for daily grinding. I'll take this one. You immediately told the magic instructor your choice. Hey, you're not a mage. You're an archer, right? What are you doing here? Did you even look at the requirements for Fire Whirlwind? Do you even have 300 magic power? Get lost, move it. Stop causing trouble here. Get lost, move it. Stop causing trouble here. Mages really do change their mood faster than flipping a page. As a regressor, you were used to these NPCs. You weren't bothered by the mage lord's temper. You simply displayed your magic power attribute before the magic instructor. This amount of magic. You're a full magic archer? Your magic power actually meets the requirement. Even so, it's useless. Only the mage class can truly master magic, understand? That is an absolute rule. Less talk, teach the skill. Seeing your persistence, the instructor had no choice. He could only follow procedure and teach you Fire Whirlwind. Ding! You have learned the skill. Fire Whirlwind. Fire Whirlwind. Instant cast magic. Summons a 20-meter diameter flame. Whirlwind for 10 seconds. Cooldown, 3 seconds. You calculated that with your current attack power. This Fire Whirlwind could deal over 500 magic damage per second. That's 65,000 over 10 seconds. And the kicker is, it's every 3 seconds. Absolutely terrifying. After learning the skill, seeing that game time was running low, you logged off, sitting up from the gaming pod. You were about to stand up when you noticed something strange. Your vision, which had declined years ago from gaming, suddenly became crystal clear. Even the buildings further outside the window and the advertising signs became unnaturally clear. Suddenly, you remembered one of the rewards for completing the novice trial. Right now, about 10% of your game strength is projected into reality. Your current progress far exceeds your previous life. I wonder how much this early projection will impact the future. After stretching for a bit, your stomach let out an untimely growl. Just as you stepped out the door, you saw your landlady, Lina, wearing a breezy camisole, coming downstairs. Heading out to eat too? Yeah, just woke up from the game. I'm starving. Come with me, I'll take you to get something delicious. On the way home after eating, seeing the flashing police lights and the crowd in front of the complex, you asked out of curiosity, I heard a stray cat slit someone's throat. They died on the spot. Could it be because of my game projection? You carried the bags of clothes to Lina's room, and then headed back home. The city streets, even a shopping pro like Lina, felt a hint of exhaustion. After washing up, Lina came into the living room wrapped in a bath towel, preparing to organize the bags of clothes piled messily in the room. Lina looked over curiously, noticing some movement coming from behind the curtains. Why is there a cat meowing in the house? That news about the killer stray cat. Before Lina could pull open the curtains, a dark shadow pounced from the gap in the curtains. Ah! Sister Na, what happened? Save me. Get off her. The power of your angry punch was absolutely apocalyptic for a stray cat. Gained 1 EXP. You didn't have time to notice the game notification. Just as you were about to ask if she was okay, you froze. Lina suddenly rose from the floor and hugged you tightly, completely ignoring the bath towel slipping off her body. I'm so scared. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Your body stiffened, but you eventually hugged the trembling Lina. Back at your place, Lina wore a silk nightgown, sipping a cup of hot water slowly. Sister Na, I didn't hold back my strength in the heat of the moment. I'll find someone to fix the door tomorrow. It's okay. That stray cat was like a fierce tiger. If it weren't for you, I might have been in danger. In my previous life, the first time monsters invaded reality was somewhere in Magic City. But this time it happened right here. Is it because I was the first to project game strength? Sister Na, you can sleep in my room tonight. I'll sleep outside. Sister Na, you can sleep in my room tonight. I'll sleep outside. After seeing Lina enter the room, you lay directly into the game pod. With a flash of light, you appeared inside the class guild of Evernight City. You desperately needed to increase your strength, and one of the fastest ways to do that was a class change. Opening the hidden class selection scroll, your gaze swept across the various hidden classes. Light God's Arrow, Light God, Nightshade Marksman, Wild Hunter. Suddenly, the description of one hidden class. Suddenly, a hidden class description caught your attention. Houtsong Divine Archer. A class blessed by the heavens. All its attacks are unavoidable, and it possesses ultra-long-range reconnaissance capabilities. To you, this was practically tailor-made. You chose to change your class to the unique hidden class, Houtsong Divine Archer. Following your decision, a class change quest appeared in your taskbar. Class change quest. Houtsong Divine Archer. Kill 5 gold rank bosses, whose level is not lower than your own. Collect 1,000 feathers of the Kanglan Sea Swallow. Clear the 10th floor of the Hero's Tower. The 3 requirements made your eyelids twitch. You looked at these 3 conditions, pondered them carefully, and finally decided that collecting Kanglan Sea Swallow feathers would be the easiest task at this stage. After buying some red and blue consumables in Evernight City, you set your course and left the city. At this moment, you were frantically grinding your talent passives. The Fire Whirlwind had a vast area of effect and a very short cooldown. Flying in the air every 3 seconds you dropped a fire whirlwind onto the monster hordes below. You kept circling Evernight City, continuously dropping fire whirlwinds. Before long, the passive stacks exceeded 50,000. Just then, you received a message from Yoon Nayo. Seeing that both siblings had completed the hard mode trial, you sent a congratulation and closed the chat box. Suddenly, a game notification rang in your ear. Congratulations to player Xingyuan Grade for being the first on the server to complete the class change. You were stunned, as expected of a major guild. I didn't expect Xingyuan Grade to be the first to complete the class change quest. You glanced at the leaderboard. Your original top spot had already been replaced by Xingyuan Grade, while other players were still level 10 and had not changed classes. The Xingyuan Guild has established Holy Light City as its headquarters. The city welcomes all ambitious souls to join us. As soon as the news broke, the world chat below scrolled frantically, all of them sucking up to Xingyuan Grade. This made Xingyuan Grade, who had just completed his class change and was in a great mood, smile even wider. He looked toward the guild's core members. Any progress in contacting that one arrow double standard guy? President, that guy has set his settings to reject friend requests. We can't reach him at all. Useless. You can't even handle this small task. Pass down the order. When you encounter one arrow double standard, invite him to the guild first. If he refuses, put him on the blacklist. I want to see how he plans to play against me. Yes, sir. You looked at your passives, which had now stacked to 150,000, and thought it was time to start the class change quest. While grinding monsters, you finally dropped 2 pieces of equipment you were still missing: a helmet and leg armor. Inkhorned Antelope Helmet, Grade, Silver, Level 10. Antelope Skull passive activated. Additional 5% reduction in damage taken to the head. The other piece was the Wind Demon Wolfskin Pants. Grade, Silver, Level 10. Demon Wolf Wind Blade activated. Launches a wind blade attack dealing 300 damage to the enemy. Attack range does not exceed 100 meters. Cooldown, 10 seconds. Would you like to hide the equipment appearance? Hide. After hiding the equipment appearance, you checked the map's direction and flew toward the east of Evernight City. After a while, the blue horizon of the sea finally appeared in your sight, and before you, the figures of pale blue sea swallows emerged. Kanglan Sea Swallow, Level 30. Skill Swallow Dive, Ocean Wave. As a level 30 squishy mob, the HP and defense of the Azure Sea Swallow aren't very strong. Their most troublesome trait is their speed. But for you, that's no problem at all. Fire Whirlwind. Activate. A massive swarm of Azure Sea Swallows perished within the Fire Whirlwind. They didn't even have time to attack. However, the drop rate for feathers is way too low. For every 10 Azure Sea Swallows killed, you only get 1 feather. Another flock of Azure Sea Swallows falls, and you collect 575 fallen feathers. By now, you've cleared all the Azure Sea Swallows around you, and now you must wait for the system to respawn them. With nothing else to do, you prepare to head elsewhere, to hunt more mobs and stack your talents. When you suddenly spot something in the bushes below, a figure slowly writhing. Curious, you fly down and land in front of them. It's a wounded soldier, his lower body drenched in blood, his face as pale as a sheet. He looks like he's on the brink of death. A human adventurer. Your sudden appearance clearly startled him, but upon realizing you're human, he visibly breathes a sigh of relief. Adventurer, I beg you, help me deliver a message. I don't have much time left. Ding. Scout Camel of Evernight City has issued a quest. The final message. Do you accept? The final message. Camel discovered that the sea race is gathering forces on an island, seemingly planning to attack Evernight City. You must deliver this news to the City Lord of Evernight City, and she will reward you generously. You are momentarily stunned by the quest, as memories of your past life flood back. A major event that occurred in Evernight City, the sea race invasion. With that in mind, you immediately accept the quest. Thank you, adventurer. Please get this message to the City Lord quickly, so Evernight City can prepare. With those words, the soldier falls silent. Shouldering the soldier's body, you fly back toward Evernight City. You don't use a return scroll, because you wouldn't be able to bring the body back. On the way, you continue using Fire Whirlwind to stack your passive talent. By the time you reach Evernight City, your passive talent has stacked to 200,000. Who goes there? No unauthorized entry to the City Lord's manor. You set the soldier's body down and point to him, saying, "This is one of your soldiers from Evernight City, named Camel. Before he died, he asked me to deliver an urgent message to the City Lord." Led by the guard, you soon enter the City Lord's manor, into a vast, empty hall. Upon the throne, a valiant and striking woman gazes at you indifferently. Adventurer, what brings you here? you are not unfamiliar with this female city lord. It is said she possesses royal blood, and her name is Iris. In your past life, after the game merged with reality, this city lord also successfully entered the real world, leading her army to help humanity repel the monster invasion. Due to her breathtaking beauty and immense power, she was known among humans as the Rose Queen. Respected city lord, your soldier asked me to tell you before he died. The sea race is already gathering their forces. Evernight City must be on high alert. Those stinking fish really do have designs on my city. Adventurer, on behalf of Evernight City, I thank you for your help. This is your reward. As Iris speaks, she hands you a badge. Ding! You have obtained the Evernight badge. Your reputation increases by 50. Evernight badge. Within the jurisdiction of Evernight City, you can command units of up to 100 soldiers. Furthermore, you are exempt from the laws of Evernight City. You are overjoyed. This is the legendary privilege item from your past life. Being able to mobilize level 60 NPC guards. It's fair to say, with this badge, you're practically an elite celestial of Evernight City. After bidding farewell to City Lord Iris, you head toward the tallest tower in the city. That is the Hero Tower. Among the 8 major cities, every single one has a Hero Tower. Every player has 3 challenge attempts per day. A successful challenge does not consume an attempt. You challenged the Hero Tower in your past life, and you are confident in your current damage output. Arriving before the Hero Tower, before this tower that pierces the clouds, a crowd of players has already gathered. Within the crowd, you spot a familiar figure. That person is none other than the Vice Guild leader of the Batian Guild, Batian. Only then do you remember that in your past life the Batian Guild was stationed in Evernight City. At that moment, Batian notices you. Double standard, great god, what are you doing here? I'm here to challenge the Hero Tower. So far, no one has cleared the 2nd floor. I heard the hero there is only level 11. I know. Let's just go in and see, you say, pushing through the crowd and entering the tower. So this is the double standard guy. Looks completely mediocre to me. I heard he's about the same level as us. Yet he wants to challenge the 2nd floor? Dream on. I don't know where he gets this confidence. Just wait and see him get crushed back to reality. Your figure appears upon a massive arena. After a flash of brilliant light, your figure appears upon a massive arena. The arena is vast. Directly opposite you, a figure clad entirely in black is gradually revealing itself. The opponent wears a set of cyan armor, with an ancient helmet that completely covers his face, leaving only a pair of cold eyes visible. Storm Warrior, level 10. Skill, Storm Rush, Wild Wind, Gale of Death. As the first guardian hero of the Hero Tower, you know the Storm Warrior stats, inside and out. With just one glance, you lose all interest. You immediately draw your bow and fire. The Storm Warrior doesn't even make a sound, as he collapses instantly, outside the Hero Tower. I bet it takes a minute. That's the Storm Warrior we're talking about. Once an archer is closed in on, they're toast. Everyone knows that. Hey, look over there. 3 seconds. I didn't even finish sneezing. The last pro fought for 40 minutes. Is this guy even human? First place, double target, floor 1, 3 seconds. The players seeing this ranking collectively lost it. You've got to be kidding me. The previous person fought for 40 minutes just to take down the first floor boss of the Hero Tower. And you, double target, did it in 3 seconds? Where's the justice? Is this even possible? Congratulations on conquering the Hero Tower. And the 10th floor guardian. You have obtained a skill enhancement scroll. Watching the 10th floor guardian slowly dissipate, you finally breathed a sigh of relief. You glanced at the class change requirements. Only one final task remained. You had no desire to stay and keep challenging. With a single thought, you exited the Hero Tower. The moment you stepped out, countless burning gazes fell upon you. Legend, you're finally out. Double target, you're incredible. I want to have your babies. Double target, look at me. I love you. The surging crowd tried to rush forward frantically, but were held back by the guild members. Led by Batian, you were completely bewildered. Before you could figure out what was happening, you saw Batian approaching with a young man. Hello, I am the guild master of the Batian Guild, Batian Xuanzhan. Pleased to meet you. Hello, I've heard a lot about you. You had a decent impression of the Batian Guild. You shook hands with him. Just then, A stunning woman with a curvy figure walked over. "Hello, legend. I am the Vice Guild Master of the Xingyuan Guild. Xingyuan Yuyu. On behalf of the Xingyuan Guild, I invite you to join us, like the Batian Guild." The Xingyuan Guild is also ranked in the top 10. However, because they only recruit female players, their overall combat power ranks 10th. Following Xingyuan's lead, other waiting guild executives stepped forward to express their goodwill. You rejected them all. You only added a few executives as friends. During this, friend requests from two guilds were rejected by you, the Yushin Guild and the Quangren Guild. These two guilds you had absolutely no liking for. During this, friend requests from two guilds were rejected by you, the Yushin Guild and the Quangren Guild. These two guilds you had absolutely no liking for. In your previous life, the masters of these two guilds, after the game invaded reality, became dogs for the ancient evil gods. Not only did they hunt players in-game, but in reality, they helped the first batch of evil god believers establish their foothold. In your past life, you hated these two guilds to the core, but you lacked the strength. Now that you have the power in this life, you naturally won't let them off easily. Seeing the crowds surrounding you in thick layers, you had no choice but to use the wings of an angel to fly away. One condition remained for the class change quest: slay 5 golden grade bosses. This requirement, if you relied on yourself to find wild bosses, who knows how long it would take. Fortunately, as a regressor, you knew of a place near Evernight City that housed a golden grade boss and was perfect for stacking talents. After a while, the ominous Black Mountains appeared before you. You weren't sure of the exact location of the Undead Crypt, so you flew around the Undead Mountains, searching for suspicious spots. After another while, your gaze suddenly fell upon a distant valley. There was a pitch-black cave entrance facing your direction. You approached rapidly, using fire tornado to clear the undead in the valley, and then entered the crypt. The moment you entered, the game's notification rang in your ear. Ding! You have discovered a special area. Undead Crypt. The burial chamber was vast, roughly the size of 2 football fields. It was densely packed with a horde of skeletons. You stood at the entrance of the chamber. The undead skeletons in the distance did not launch an attack against you. As far as the eye could see, they were all white jade skeletons. Only at the staircase at the far end was there a massive shadow that stood out. Unsurprisingly, that shadow was the golden boss spawned on this floor. Without further hesitation, you hurled a fire tornado toward the skeletons. Instantly, the sounds of shattering bones echoed repeatedly. Countless white jade skeletons, swept by the fire tornado, were reduced to piles of bone fragments. A moment later, the entire first floor of the crypt no longer had a single skeleton standing. That was when the massive figure finally moved. Clack! Clack, stepping over the scattered bones. It approached with an overwhelming presence. You soon saw the visitor's appearance clearly. A giant skeleton wearing a pure gold crown. Skeleton King, Golden Grade Boss. Level 25. Skills: Summon Skeleton. King's Wrath. Undead Body. 220,000 passive HP. It only takes 9 arrows to kill him. Swish! An arrow landed precisely on the Skeleton King's smooth skull. The Skeleton King's health dropped at a visible rate. Even the Skeleton King himself was stunned. He touched his smooth forehead, unable to understand why a tiny wooden arrow could deplete 1/10 of his health. But there was one thing he understood. This human before him was not easy to deal with. With a silent roar, the Skeleton King raised his rusty greatsword and slashed toward your position. You continued firing arrows relentlessly, using your mind to command the wings of an angel to lift you high. Getting out of the Skeleton King's attack range, you were like a ruthless archery machine, maintaining constant damage while dodging the Skeleton King's attacks. Under this onslaught, the Skeleton King lasted less than 15 seconds before falling in resentment. Under this onslaught, the Skeleton Lord lasted less than 15 seconds before falling in resentment. Server announcement: player double target is the first to slay a Golden Grade boss. His deeds will be remembered in the history of the Star Source continent. After the Skeleton King was defeated, the passage to the next floor lit up. Without hesitation, you entered the next floor. In the deepest part of the Undead Crypt, inside a small, cramped secret room, dim candlelight provided the only source of light. On both sides of the room, figures were hidden within the darkness. I understand what you mean. 7 days from now, I will send my minions to Night City. Once it's done, 80% of the city's population belongs to me, while the city walls and the surrounding lands belong to you. Agreed. However, City Lord Iris is specifically requested by our patriarch. You cannot touch her. Rest assured, I have no interest in the living. Suddenly, he shudders, looking up at the ceiling of the secret room. Strange. A little bug has broken in. The candles in the room suddenly flicker, and when the shadow is seen again, one person has vanished. Dungeon level 5. You fire the final arrow, knocking back an undead knight. You let out a relaxed sigh of relief. All 3 class change requirements are finally met. Taking out the class change scroll again. The words requirements met now appear. Without hesitation, you immediately activate the scroll. Ding! You have activated the power of the class change scroll. Congratulations on attaining the unique hidden class. Haotsong Divine Archer. You have learned the skills. I have Haotsong, Punishment of Azure Thunder, Single Arrow of the Heavens. You knew hidden classes were strong, but you didn't expect them to be that strong. 1 level up equals 12 for others. This isn't just strong. This is heaven-defying. Besides the free attribute points from leveling, the 3 newly learned skills also exceed your expectations, especially the first skill, Eye of Haotsong, is practically tailor-made for you. Your biggest concern right now isn't your range, but the limits of your natural vision. But with the Eye of Haotsong, it's different. You can fully utilize the Eye of Haotsong to illuminate the target's area, then launch a precision strike based on that vision. Whether it's a basic attack or a skill, as long as it's aimed at the target, cannot be dodged. Right now I'm like a walking human ICBM. Just as you're gloating, a raspy voice echoes in your ear. I thought some powerful figure had broken in, but it's just a tiny little fry. As the voice fades, you see a figure shrouded in a black robe, appearing at the entrance to the next level. You secretly brace yourself, your gaze falling upon the enemy. Lich Glock, Diamond Rank Boss, Level, HP, Mana, Attack, Defense, Resistance, Skills. The string of question marks makes your skin crawl. In Star Source, for targets above level 30, the level is displayed as a question mark. All question marks. This monster is at least level 40. However, his name catches your attention. Lich Glock. A lich? Could it be? I remember now. So this guy has been hiding here all along. Lich Glock. This name was not unfamiliar. In the outskirts of Night City in your past life, countless players and NPCs remembered him. What made Glock most memorable was the undead army he commanded. Among the forces that attacked Night City, there was the Undead Legion led by Glock. If Iris hadn't decisively struck and slain him, Night City might have fallen under the joint siege. Now, the enemy is right in front of you. For the future of Night City, you decisively use the return scroll. No joke. If Glock were 220 kilometers away, you wouldn't mind giving him a couple of arrows to stretch his bones. But now, the distance is barely 200 meters. You wouldn't dare at this range. Trade blows and skills with a powerful Lich. The light erupting from you stuns Glock for a moment. Then he reacts, trying to run from my domain. Do you think this is a playground? Glock raises his hand to launch an attack, but a mage's cast time is too long. It's not as fast as your instant cast skills. Damn it! You wretched insect, don't let me find you. Otherwise, I will make sure your soul suffers for 10 million years. Your figure reappears from the teleportation array of Night City. This encounter teaches you that playing without crowd control is too hard. Then, you take out the skill selection book you specifically saved for after the class change. Ding! You have used the class skill selection book. You may choose one of the following class skills. Triple Split Divine Arrow. The fired arrow splits into 3, dealing 150% arrow light damage to all enemies within range. Summon Celestial Divine General. Summon a Divine General in the name of Haotsong to assist in battle. General stats are adjusted to 200% of the summoner's stats. Duration: 30 minutes. The Haotsong Divine Archer doesn't have many class skills, roughly only 20-something, but every skill has immense stats and exaggerated effects. For a moment, you are conflicted. Finally, you choose a control skill. Grip of Divine Wrath. Active. Instant cast. Condenses space, suppressing all objects in the target area for 5 seconds.
Consumes 400 mana.
Cooldown: 30 minutes. Cooldown, 45 seconds. After selecting the skill, cooldown, 454, you immediately prepare to enhance it. Ding! You have used a skill enhancement scroll. Skill Grip of Divine Wrath has been enhanced. All 3 scrolls are used up, and the original description of Grip of Divine Wrath undergoes a slight change. Grip of Divine Wrath. Active, instant cast, condenses space, suppressing all objects in the target area for 8 seconds.
Consumes 800 mana.
Cooldown, 15 minutes. After enhancement, the suppression duration and cooldown of Grip of Divine Wrath have been significantly improved, although it only seems to suppress for 3 seconds more. Those 3 seconds are enough for me to fire a single arrow of the heavens. Suddenly, a friend notification flashes. You open it. It's from Yao Yao gets motion sickness. Great one. My brother and I found a silver boss in the wild. Hurry over. Great one. My brother and I found a silver boss in the wild. Hurry over. Because of you, Yun Nayo and Yuing also came along to Eternal Night City, but the 2 of them weren't thick-skinned enough to ask you to carry them through levels. Instead, just like at the beginning, the siblings teamed up to grind mobs in the wild. As they were grinding, they spotted a silver boss wandering the wilderness. I have to say, their luck was truly incredible. Great God! Come quickly. Other players have already found it. I'm afraid they'll steal the kill. You didn't reply to Yun Nayo immediately, but open the map to check the coordinates. You found that the location was exactly within your attack range. Now you could relax. Don't panic yet. Send me the boss's stats, and then party up with me, just as you sent the message. Yun Nayo sent over the boss's status panel. Mo Ling King Silver Boss, level 12, skills.
Montagling Tremple.
Berserk Charge, Scale Armor Protection. You clicked to accept Yun Nayo's party invitation. You 2 get ready. Once the boss is dead, loot the gear immediately. Great God! Are you here yet? She tilted her head up, her bright eyes scanning the surroundings, only to find other players slowly closing in. I'm not coming, but I can still kill this boss. Seeing this reply, Yun Nayo felt like her brain was short-circuiting. What does this mean? What do you mean not coming, but can kill? Can this boss be slain by sheer willpower? Just as Yun Nayo was utterly bewildered, Yuing came to her side and patted her shoulder. Yao Yao, what's the word? Is the double standard Great God coming? More and more players were crowding around. Brother, the Great God said, he's not coming, but he can kill the boss, and told us to get ready to loot. He's not coming? Then how are we supposed to fight the boss? Just as they were talking, several players approached them. Hey buddies, we all discovered this boss together. Want to team up and take it down? Otherwise, once the guilds arrive, we solo players won't get a thing. As they spoke, their eyes inadvertently swept over Yun Nayo's face and body. The astonishment in their eyes was uncontrollable. Yuing coldly shielded his sister behind him. Sorry, we can handle this boss. Our teammate is already on the way. Ha ha ha. Give me a break. Buddy, that line is way outdated. You just want to sell the boss to some guild, right? Why pretend? As they say, whoever sees it gets a share. How about we split it evenly? I said, we can handle it ourselves. We don't need you. Seeing Yuing's stubborn attitude, the expressions of those players turned cold. We were being kind enough to share with you, yet you treat us like clowns. You can kill it. Huh? Show me how you'll do it. That thing is the Mo Ling King. A boss of this caliber isn't something solo players can touch. Can you even break its defense? The leader said, pointing at the boss nearby. Little did they know, a streak of light shot from the distant horizon, landing precisely on the Mo Ling King's head. An exaggerated number floated above the Mo Ling King's head, and its health bar vanished in an instant. The player who had been pointing froze. Since when was his finger this powerful? Did he just one-shot the boss with a finger? While he was dazed, Yuing's figure blurred, and the shimmering equipment on the ground vanished instantly, including one piece that glowed with a golden light. The eyes of all the players present nearly popped out of their sockets. The fact that Yuing could loot the boss's drops proved that his teammate really did kill it. Golden gear. That's golden gear. There isn't a single piece of golden gear in the auction house yet. This is likely the very first piece of golden gear, and its value is immeasurable. Stop right there. Many of them, almost instinctively, surrounded the siblings. Leave the golden gear behind. Otherwise, you're not leaving, right? Leave the golden gear. Or don't blame us for being ruthless. Leave the golden gear behind. Otherwise, you're not leaving, right? Leave the golden gear. Or don't blame us for being ruthless. The words of the crowd made Yuing's face pale. Nayo hid behind Yuing, too scared to face them. She could only send the current situation to you. Great God! We're surrounded. They want us to hand over the golden gear. My brother already put the gear in the auction house. Actually, even if she hadn't said it, you already knew. High up in the azure sky, an ethereal eye, almost blending perfectly with the blue sky, floated high above. This eye was none other than your passive ability, the evolved Eye of Haotsong. Under the gaze of the Eye of Haotsong, you could clearly see everything happening on the ground. Seeing the siblings surrounded, you weren't worried at all. You simply replied, "It's fine." Then, with a single thought, a bolt of lightning suddenly crashed down from above, striking exactly where the siblings stood in the center. The lightning struck. Electrical serpents ravaged the area. The siblings closed their eyes tight, waiting for death to descend, only to find that nothing happened to them. Instead, the players who had surrounded them let out screams of agony one after another. A moment later, the two opened their eyes in confusion, only to see that all the players were gone, leaving only a floor full of shimmering equipment. While they were still stunned, Nayo suddenly cried out, "Ah! Brother, the great god told us to pick up all the gear on the ground and sell it. He can see us." Yuing was completely speechless. First, a one-shot kill on the boss, and now summoning heavenly lightning? Are we even playing the same game? Arriving at the Eternal Night City Lord's manor, you once again saw the cold and peerless City Lord, Iris. Today, Iris was wearing an elegant gown. Her scorching figure, accentuated by the dress, radiated an incredible charm. Combined with her cold, arrogant, queenly face, it sparked an inexplicable urge to conquer her. But you remained clear-headed. Though she was breathtakingly beautiful, she was also a powerhouse close to the fourth awakening, and one wrong move would mean death. Double standard arrow. I heard you wanted to see me, my lord. While I was training in the Undead Mountains, I discovered a crypt. After venturing deeper into the crypt, I found. You told Iris about your experiences in the Undead Crypt. You told Iris, including the fact that you slew a level 30 golden boss. You didn't hide anything. I am well aware there is a Lich in the Undead Mountains. To think you could slay a Death Knight under the Lich's command. Are you sure you're not trying to trick me? My lord, if you don't believe me, I can demonstrate it for you right here. Very well, follow me. Iris turned and walked away. The two passed through the main hall of the City Lord's manor, and soon arrived at the manor's training grounds. In the vast training ground, dummy targets stood in neat rows across the western plaza. Those dummies over there can withstand attacks from third-tier classes. Feel free to use your skills without holding back. Third tier, meaning the power of a professional above level 60. With your current attack power, you truly couldn't destroy these dummies. However, giving Iris a little shock was still well within your reach. Without wasting any words, you immediately brought out the Silver Moon longbow and began charging your shot at the dummy. Since it was a performance, you naturally had to use your strongest attack. Charging. A flash of surprise crossed Iris's eyes. With her strength, she could naturally sense the terrifying destructive power contained within the arrow. The arrow shot out with a brilliant azure glow. Damage: 1, 231, 452. Iris's hand, hidden beneath her gown, trembled slightly. Ding! Evernight City Lord, Iris, level 30. Favorability increased by 20. Current favorability, 30. The game notification suddenly rang out, leaving you momentarily stunned. Favorability is a value that only exists between NPCs and players. Clearly, your performance earned Iris's recognition, sparking a hint of affection for you. The strong have always been attracted to the strong. At this moment, Iris was undoubtedly thrilled, clearly just at the start of the first tier. How could he have destructive power comparable to the late third tier? Is this the power of a descendant? My lord, what I just showed was my strongest single attack. Next, I will demonstrate my area of effect attack. Thunder. Strike. As your palm descended, a bolt of lightning as thick as a bowl crashed down from the sky. Densely packed damage numbers floated up from the area where the dummy stood, making Iris's heart race even faster as she witnessed it all. Ding! Evernight City Lord, Iris. Favorability increased by 10. Current favorability, 40. I acknowledge your strength. I have a great place in mind to recommend to you. It will allow your strength to increase rapidly. Your eyes lit up. Hidden quest. In your past life, no one could get a hidden quest from her. Respected City Lord, I look forward to the place you recommend. Don't call me City Lord. From now on, just call me Iris. All right, Iris. Iris gave a gentle smile. The radiance she displayed in that instant made your heart flutter uncontrollably. These NPCs are way too realistic. Calm down. I almost lost my composure, sensing your odd reaction. Iris wasn't angry. The place I want to recommend is the Empire's Royal Academy. However, before that, you must obtain something as an admission credential. Please be specific, my lord. What is it? The Star of Hope. Only the most outstanding newcomers have the chance to enter the Royal Academy. Originally, back in the starting lands, you descendants had the chance to obtain the Star of Hope title, but the difficulty was far too high. Now, as long as you can. Iris suddenly froze, because you produced the Star of Hope title that you obtained after clearing the Hellmode trial. In the beginner's village, you showed it to her. Is this the Star of Hope? That's right, I cleared the highest difficulty trial. I see. You got it in the starting lands? Iris was speechless, her chest heaving rapidly, reflected her current state of mind. But for this trip, I should be representing Evernight City. Right? As the city lord, shouldn't you reward me with something good? Iris was stunned for a moment. It seems this was the real reason. You showed me your strength. Tell me, what do you want? Do you have a level 30 golden set? Give me one. I have golden sets. But can you even wear it? All equipment for you descendants requires your strength to meet the requirements. It's useless to give it to you now. Don't worry about that. Just have it ready. I'll go level up right now. Go then. When you're ready for the second tier advancement, you can come to me to collect the set. Golden set secured. Admission qualifications settled. Next, crazy leveling. Reach level 30 within a few days. Coming out of the game pod, you went upstairs to find Lina. After a couple of knocks, Lina quickly opened the door. Sister Na, it's me. You brat. You actually remember to visit me? Coming so late at night. Could he possibly be thinking? This brat is quite mischievous. You frowned at Lina, noticing her gaze gradually becoming bashful and indignant. Her face also turned red. Sister Na, I have something to tell you. Lina rolled her eyes at you again, turned and swayed her hips back to the living room sofa. It was then that you noticed what Lina was wearing. A silk nightgown. The soft nightgown was somewhat loose, clinging to her chest and hips, outlining several captivating curves. You looked away and followed her to sit on the sofa. Speak. What brings you, brat, to my place so late at night? You looked at Lina, whose face grew redder and redder, her eyes looking at you with a hint of anticipation. Sister Na, let me show you how to play the game. Give me your game ID, and I'll find you. You had me nervous all night, and this is all it was. Logging back into the game, you immediately opened the friends list and entered the username I'm the master of Showdown Mountain. You couldn't understand why Sister Na would choose such a name. This name doesn't suit Sister Na at all. Just as the request was sent, Lina accepted it. Then, Lina sent a message. So you're actually the real one arrow double standard. He's surprised? Surprised my ass. You didn't even tell me about something this big. You felt a bit nervous seeing this message. Quickly changing the subject, you said you'd come help her level up. Lina didn't press the issue. She quickly sent you her coordinates and mentioned she had a girlfriend who needed a carry. Glancing at the coordinates, you realized Lina was actually in Holy Light City. Not bad. Just in time to take this opportunity to pick up the legendary quest in Holy Light City. Meanwhile, at a grinding spot outside Holy Light City, ignoring her friend's protests, Lina plopped herself down on the grass. Then she lay back comfortably. She wore a piece of worn-out armor, revealing a glimpse of her fair midriff and arms. The armor clung tightly to her body, perfectly outlining her sultry curves, earning a roll of the eyes from the woman beside her. Look at you, your stomach is showing. Don't worry. As Zhao Yu spoke, she pulled Lina's armor down a bit. She was a mage, wearing the light gray robe exclusive to advanced mages. The oversized robe completely shrouded her figure, leaving only the curves of her bust and hips to suggest that her body was just as impressive as Lina's. Oh, Xiao Yu, Why are you more annoying than my mom? It's fine once my friend arrives. You can just lie down and level up too. Nana, you have a friend like that? He'll be here any second. While Li Na and Zhao Yu were chatting, a group of players sneakily surrounded them.
Lina frowned.
Sat up and looked at them coldly. The leader, a scrawny young man, looked at Li Na and Zhao Yu and smiled. Hey beauties, just the two of you grinding? Want to join our party? We're from the God-roaming guild. A look of deep admiration was hidden in his eyes. Wang Hao felt like his luck today was absolutely maxed out. He had teamed up with guild members to grind, never imagining he'd encounter such top-tier female players, especially that female warrior on the ground. That body, that face, and legs longer than his own life expectancy. The female mage wasn't bad either, though the robe covered her. But Wang Hao could tell at a glance the substantial curves beneath the robe. The admiration in Wang Hao's eyes gradually turned into lust. Li Na and Zhao Yu saw it all, and their faces showed undisguised disgust. No thanks. We're not joining your party. Let's go. Hey, don't be in such a rush to leave. We're all grinding out here. Why be so distant? Other female players might have agreed, since grinding alone is truly exhausting, and getting hit by monsters really hurts. But Li Na and Zhao Yu didn't think that way at all. Li Na just started cursing. Get the hell away from me. This little brat is quite spicy. Either you grind with us, or you can just die and respawn in town. Just then, a figure suddenly descended from the sky, landing perfectly in front of Li Na. Li Na's eyes lit up the moment she saw him. You finally showed up. You turned to Li Na with a grin. Better late than never. And just in time to swat these flies for you. Your tone was arrogant, completely disregarding Wang Hao and his crew. Wang Hao and the others glared at you in rage. Who the hell are you, kid? You dare interfere with the God-roaming guild? Brother Hao, kill him, daring to provoke us in Holy Light City. You must be tired of living. You didn't even bother arguing. You simply raised your hand. A bolt of lightning as thick as a bowl suddenly struck the center of their group. In the next second, it exploded into a swarm of lightning serpents. -1, 154, 712. A series of exaggerated numbers floated above their heads. They only had time to feel the devastation of the thunder before they all collapsed without even a scream. Instantly, your name turned a deep, glowing purple. Ding! You have been killed by player 1 arrow double standard. After respawning at the Holy Light City revival point, Wang Hao's expression was priceless. 1 arrow double standard. Isn't he in Evernight City? How did he end up in Holy Light City? Countless questions flashed through Wang Hao's mind, but he quickly remembered what the guild leader had said. Remember, report it immediately if you find 1 arrow double standard. Thinking of this, Wang Hao quickly opened his friends list. Guild leader, 1 arrow double standard is in Holy Light City. At that moment, God-roaming heaven was leading the guild's elite squad, grinding monsters in the wild. Suddenly receiving Wang Hao's message, instantly killed his mood for grinding. 1 arrow double standard. He immediately turned to his guild members and summoned all the core members. He ordered them to gather outside the south gate of Holy Light City. Yes, guild leader, summon all the core members and have them gather outside the south gate of Holy Light City. Yes, guild leader. Soon, the entire Holy Light City, because of a single order from God-roaming heaven, became buzzing with activity. Large numbers of God-roaming guild players headed toward the south of the city, drawing frequent glances from passers-by. What's going on? It looks like everyone from the God-roaming guild is heading south. I heard. Their guild leader found a trace of 1 arrow double standard. They're heading there to ambush him.
1 arrow double standard?
Is that the level 30 powerhouse? That's the one. I don't know what the God-roaming guild leader is thinking. He's already level 30. How can they possibly kill him? Outside the south gate, God-roaming heaven looked coldly at every core member of the guild. Send out all the rogues and hunters in half an hour at most. I want the exact coordinates of 1 arrow double standard. Meanwhile, after you wiped out Wang Hao and his group with a wave of your hand, Li Na grabbed you and started peppering you with questions. Are you a hidden class? Why are you so much more powerful than the hidden classes mentioned on the forums? Hey! Say something. What's with the silence? You felt your head buzzing, nearly drowned by Li Na's barrage of questions. Cough, Sister Na. let's keep moving first. I'll answer your questions one by one. Hearing this, Lina finally stopped. Fine, where are we grinding? I almost forgot to introduce you. This is my bestie, Zhao Yu. She's beautiful, sweet, and easy to take down.
Lina pulled Xiao Yu over
and winked at you. Zhao Yu's face flushed crimson. She made a move to scratch Lina. Lina, I'm going to kill you. Haha, don't be mad. This one Zhao Yu. I only heard Lina mention her in my previous life. It seems that from the start, she died at the hands of the invading monsters. Lina cried for a long time because of it. It's rare to have a best friend she could boss around so easily. The monsters around Holy Light City are too low level. Let's go somewhere further. As you speak, you open the game map and point toward a completely black area. Lina and Zhao Yu look confused. So far? It'll take ages to walk there. With that, the angel wings on your back snap open. I'll just fly you both there. Seeing this, Lina's eyes immediately light up. You grin. You wrap your arms around their slender waists. Then you soar into the sky, causing both girls to scream. They instinctively cling to your body, following the map's guidance. You quickly cross vast leveling zones. Lina and Zhao Yu climb down. When they see the monsters before them, they both freeze in place. Evil cultists, level 45. Alright, from now on, you two just need to help me pick up the loot. With that, you raise your hand and cast Fire Whirlwind. As the roaring red whirlwind rises within the camp, Lina finally snaps out of it. She stares at you blankly. Holy crap, you're hacking. Ding. Your level has increased to 30. All attributes +1. Free attribute points +5. When the game notification rings in the girl's ears, Lina begins to tremble with excitement. Beside her, Zhao Yu nods repeatedly in excitement. From her heaving chest, one can tell how thrilled she is. But as the one responsible, you remain completely calm. To level up further, a second-class advancement is necessary. But Sister Na, don't change classes yet. Wait a few days and I'll get you a hidden class. Hearing there's a hidden class, Lina gets even more excited. She suddenly throws herself onto you. Little brother, you're truly the best. All those years I spent taking care of you paid off,
Lina says,
and gives you a firm kiss on the cheek. Beside them, Zhao Yu watches longingly. Lina and you, sigh, feeding me dog food again. You still have things to do in Holy Light City, so you decide to fly back alone. Lina and Zhao Yu don't say anything more. They immediately crush their return scrolls. As you fly near Holy Light City, you quickly notice a large crowd of players below. Out of curiosity, you decide to fly down and see what's happening. In the crowd, Yushindang Tian is flying into a rage. Trash. All of you are trash. Over 3,000 rogues and hunters, and you still can't find double standard. Facing Yu Shindang Tian's fury, the guild officers below don't dare to utter a word. Suddenly, Wang Hao feels a chill down his spine. He looks up. Guild leader, there seems to be someone above us. Wang Hao looks up in confusion at the figure descending from the sky. The other members of the Yushin Guild also look up one after another. Suddenly, Yushin Dang Tian's expression changes. Double standard. Everyone, get ready. On my command, attack immediately. Yushin Dang Tian's order spreads quickly. Over 10,000 players outside the south gate all look up at you together. At this moment, you see clearly Yushin. The game IDs of these players. Without exception, they all start with Yushin. Clearly, these people are from the Yushin Guild, trying to ambush and kill me in the wild. Seems it's time to give Yushin Dang Tian a little shock. You lower your altitude, hovering above Yushin Dang Tian, looking down at him. Yushin Dang Tian's face is extremely grim. In his eyes, your behavior is nothing but disdain and insult. Everyone, hear my order. Kill him. Following Yushin Dang Tian's command, the long-prepared, guild-ranged classes all launch their skills toward you. Every class capable of ranged attacks launched an offensive against you, facing thousands of attacks. A hint of disdain appears on your face. You let the attacks hit you because of the overlap of massive skills in mid-air.
A deafening explosion érupte.
In the distance, all the players watching the spectacle, wide-eyed with shock. Even double standard can't possibly survive that, right? Ha 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 ha. Double standard. That's what you get for looking down on our Yushin Guild. Now you know the power of a great guild, don't you? Yushin Dang Tian laughs like a lunatic, his expression twisted. However, his smile doesn't last long. As the explosions in the air clear, you appear completely unscathed before everyone. Impossible. Now it's my turn. Fire Whirlwind. With a wave of your hand, you drop a Fire Whirlwind right in the densest part of the crowd. As dense numbers of damage pop up, the players in that area all turn into white light. This scene makes you Xingyuan Tian's eyes nearly pop out of his head. At this stage, how can someone deal this much damage? The guild managers are still directing the members. In their view, you must have used some kind of shield skill, otherwise it's impossible to stay airborne under the attack of so many players. Since it's a shield, there must be a limit to its durability. As long as they keep attacking, they'll bring him down. Under the direction of the guild management, another round of dazzling attacks rains down on you. This time, you don't just stand there and take the damage. Instead, you activate your angel wings and fly higher. Simultaneously, you drop another Fire Whirlwind. A Fire Whirlwind every 3 seconds is currently your most effective and direct AoE skill. It is exceptionally effective in large-scale team battles. Hundreds more players perish beneath the Fire Whirlwind. At that moment, you notice the managers directing the battle. You immediately activate the skill, Heaven's Thunder Punishment. As the thunder strikes, the group of managers directing the fight are instantly obliterated. Equipment litters the ground. Seeing this, Xingyuan Tian finally realizes something is wrong. This double standards damage and defense far exceed those of ordinary players. Something's not right. His attack and defense far exceed those of ordinary players. If I keep fighting, I'll be the one who dies. I have to get out of here. The moment this thought crossed his mind, Roaming God ignored the guild members nearby and secretly crushed his return scroll, teleporting straight back to Holy Light City. Meanwhile, you noticed that Roaming God had fled. With a cold sneer, you activated the Eye of Haotsong. Coordinates: Holy Light City teleport point. You think you can run without my permission? A single arrow shot through the heavens, and the streak of light vanished into the distance. On the other side, Roaming God had just stepped out of the teleport. His expression was grim. The management members who had respawned found him, crowding around him one by one, asking what the next move should be. Just as Roaming God was about to answer, he suddenly saw a blue light flash across the horizon. Before he could make out what it was, the blue light shot straight toward him. At that moment, Roaming God instinctively felt the threat. Dimensional phasing. Without hesitation, he crushed a hard-to-get life-saving item. Roaming God's body became transparent in an instant. Finally, it activated. In this state, I exist in another dimension. No attack can touch me. However, reality is often unexpected. That blue light, like a piercing thorn of truth, drove straight through Roaming God's phased body. -1, 854. 723. An exaggerated damage number floated above Roaming God, and he vanished in a flash of white light. The other managers were completely stunned. Everything had happened far too quickly. Before they could even react, their guild leader had been one-shot by a long-range attack, an attack from dual standard arrow. At the same time, the battle outside the city shifted. Under the devastation of your Fire Whirlwind, more and more players were sent back to their respawn points. Once more than half the players were killed by the whirlwind. The remaining players finally reached their breaking point. More and more guild members grew dissatisfied with Roaming God and the management. Some began to leave the guild. What on earth is the Roaming God guild doing? It's over. Yeah, I'm leaving. I want to quit. This infuriated Roaming God, who had just respawned. Dual standard arrow. I'm going to kill you. But he had just respawned and barely uttered a word when a bolt of lightning struck from above. Under the horrified gazes of the surrounding players, Roaming God was one-shot again right at the fountain. This grand siege, under the shocked eyes of all the bystanders, came to a swift end in less than 5 minutes. The onlookers were instantly dumbfounded. This dual standard arrow is way too strong. Did no one notice? All his attacks are dealing hundreds of thousands, even millions of damage. The damage of the great dual standard is high. You're only realizing that now? You just found out? He was already breaking 10,000 damage at level 5. Okay? He's level 30 now. Now that's truly terrifying. Because of this battle, the name dual standard arrow truly began to catch the attention of the major powers. After successfully entering Holy Light City, you headed straight for the largest building, the Holy Light Cathedral. On the main throne of the hall, an elderly man with a white beard and hair looked at you with a smile. It seems that you have defeated the demons suppressing the starting lands. You have done well. The god will bless you. The high priest's smile was gentle. With a light wave of his hand, a stream of warm holy light entered your body. You have received the blessing of High Priest Renbo.
Max HP plus 300.
You raised an eyebrow. For an ordinary player, this blessing would be a dream come true. But for you now, it was barely better than nothing. Thank you for your blessing. If you can help me, bring back the head of the rampaging Lich Glock. I will tell you the next part of the quest. Ding! High Priest Renbo has assigned you a quest. Retrieve the head of Lich Glock. Do you accept? A strange look appeared on your face. Lich Glock? Isn't that the Lich lurking in the Undead Crypt? What a coincidence. I accept the challenge. The glory of God shall be with you. After bidding farewell to High Priest Renbo, you used a return scroll to go back to Evernight City, meeting City Lord Iris once again. Her expression was noticeably colder. However, upon seeing you, she gave a nod of acknowledgement. Dual Standard Arrow. I have received word that the Sea Race has finished mobilizing their forces. They will attack Evernight City in 10 hours. Hearing this, your expression shifted. What was bound to happen has finally happened. In your previous life, you heard of Evernight City being raided by the Sea Race army, but this time you will experience the battle firsthand. Iris, you called me here for a reason. Tell me. I have learned that the forces are led by General Westshark of the Sea Race. If I can have your assistance, I am 100% certain we can end this quickly. Facing the invasion of the Sea Race, City Lord Iris of Evernight City sent you a party request. Without hesitation, you accepted immediately. I would be honored to fight by your side. I knew you would agree. City Lord Iris's favorability towards you plus 20. After speaking, Iris rushed out urgently. Evernight City will be invaded by the Sea Race in 10 hours. All players bound to Evernight City may participate in the defense. The sudden announcement left all the players of Evernight City completely bewildered. But immediately after, they showed endless excitement. A regional city defense quest. Isn't this the perfect event to farm points? How can there be such a good thing? After the announcement, more and more players began returning to the city to prepare. Time passed second by second. Finally, on the distant horizon, a black torrent appeared. As the torrent emerged, Iris, clad in armor and protected by a squad of guards, walked through the crowd to the walls of Evernight City. Every player who caught a glimpse of Iris along the way froze in their tracks. The city lord is too beautiful, 10,000 times better than the screenshots. Surrounded by guards, Iris stepped onto the wall, looking down upon the bustling crowds to the west. Iris stepped onto the wall, looking down upon the bustling crowds to the west. Citizens, today's battle is extremely perilous and concerns the very survival of our Evernight City. May the radiance of God be with you. You have received the blessing of Holy Knight Iris. HP, magic, and attack power increased by 5%. Iris's mass blessing sent the players into a frenzy. Some shouted, "Long live the City Lord!" on the spot, while others passionately expressed their adoration for Iris. The loud, majestic sound of horns drew closer. The surge of the Sea Race on the horizon gradually revealed its true form. Leading the way was a horde of fish-headed humanoids, minions armed with tridents. These minions were packed densely, stretching for miles, with no end in sight. Before the players could attack, the guards of Evernight City launched the first strike. A rain of black arrows suddenly soared from the walls, carving a perfect parabola through the air, and crashing down into the ranks of the Murlocs. With just one move, a massive wave of fishmen collapsed in silence. The sight left every player craving that power. Immediately, some players launched attacks on the monsters beneath the walls. On the walls, players chatted and laughed, slaying the advancing fishmen with a mere wave of their hands. 3 hours passed. The vanguard of the fishmen had been wiped out. Next to assault the city was Flying Fish Commander, Diamond Boss, level 55. Skills: Flying Fish Blitz, Ocean Overwhelming Waves, Fountain of Life, Last Stand, Fish Scale Armor. Brothers, The boss is here. Let's get the first kill. Other players unleashed a barrage of skills on the flying fish commander. A dense rain of spells painted a rainbow across the sky. After the smoke cleared, the flying fish commander was completely unscathed.
Foolish humans.
You aren't even worthy of scratching me. With that, the flying fish commander lunged at the players, unleashing flying fish blitz. He moved like a phantom, ruthlessly harvesting player lives. In a blink, over a dozen players were slaughtered. Just as despair set in, you descended like a god. One arrow double mark. My god. It's really him. We're saved. Glancing at the boss's stats, you didn't dare be overconfident. You immediately used God's Wrath Grip to seize him. God's Wrath Grip activated. Instant cast. Compresses space to suppress all targets. In the target area for 8 seconds. The moment the grip triggered, you simultaneously unleashed a Fire Whirlwind. Then, hovering in midair, you drew your bow and began charging. The Fire Whirlwind erupted right beneath the flying fish commander, rapidly searing through his health bar. The flying fish commander was stunned. A human who hasn't even hit second advancement could deal such absurd damage? No wonder those cannon fodder couldn't break the line. But that wasn't a problem for the flying fish commander. His real concern was that his body was paralyzed. Human, what have you done to me? The only answer was the brilliant blue glow of your bowstring. The flying fish commander looked bewildered. A human who hasn't even reached second advancement against a member of the sea race nearly at third advancement. What damage could he possibly deal? Damage. -4, 523, 657. Wait, what's going on? How is the damage this high? Damage. -4, 523, 657. Wait, what's going on? How is the damage this high? His health bar shattered like a piece of ice. Half of it vanished in an instant. While he was still pondering how to break the control, the flying fish commander suddenly. A deep terror filled his eyes. You raised your hand, and a bolt of lightning struck from the heavens. Now he finally panicked. I am the nephew of General West Shark. Spare me. Your expression remained cold as he begged. Your arrows flew in rapid succession. I can't accept this. The flying fish commander died in a rage. The effect of God's Wrath Grip finally wore off. Simultaneously, in every player's ear, a system announcement rang out. Server-wide announcement. Player 1 arrow double mark is the first to slay a level 55 diamond boss. Reward. Diamond Grade Equipment Selection Chest. Only after the announcement repeated 3 times did someone snap out of it and scream, "Holy crap. 1 arrow double mark, just 1 shot. A level 55 diamond boss." The scene shifts to the depths of the ocean, where a conspiracy is unfolding. Eternal Night City will be mine, and the head of 1 arrow double mark will be yours. Deal. While the players were still dancing, in celebration of the diamond boss kill, the commander quickly noticed the change at the coast. The war horn sounded once more. Then a burly figure soared into the air from the distant army. In an instant, he arrived before you. Only then did you see his form, a half-man, half-shark riding a manta ray. General West Shark, legendary boss. Level, HP and mana, unknown. Aside from his name, all other stats were question marks. Clearly, his level far exceeds mine. Human, you have ruined my grand design. From this day forward, you shall be hunted relentlessly by the sea race. General West Shark has issued a bounty on you. Favorability with all sea race members. -100. Within any sea race territory, you will be unable to purchase any sea race products. As General West Shark finished speaking, you received a system prompt. You didn't give a damn. Seeing your disdain, General West Shark flew into a rage. I know you are a descendant. I will kill you here and now, to pay the blood debt for my fallen soldiers. As he spoke, an energy spear formed in his hand and flew toward you. Your expression shifted. Just as you were about to dodge, a cold voice rang in your ear. Anyone who wants to kill him must get through me first. Iris appeared wielding a massive shield and a golden sword. She looked heroic, yet radiated nobility. Facing General West Shark alone was indeed daunting, but with a high-ranking knight blocking the way, that was a different story. Clearly, Iris's arrival put significant pressure on him as well, with a holy light knight guarding him. Unless he was surrounded, that shark head could never touch him. With that thought, thought, you immediately drew your bow, aiming straight for General Westshark. Of course, the general wouldn't just let you attack. The sea race priests cast several blessings upon him. Now, General Westshark glowed with a crimson light, his aura jumping to a completely different level. Now, General Westshark glowed with a crimson light, his aura jumping to a completely different level.
Human, D.
His weapon looked like a ferocious dragon. The tip flashed as he lunged straight at you. Guardian's taunt. Iris had been anticipating this move. The moment he attacked, she immediately used taunt to draw his aggression. Come on. Keep your eyes on me. Under the effect of the taunt, the general's spear slammed directly into Iris's shield. With a thunderous crash, General Westshark staggered, nearly falling off the back of his manta ray. Fortunately, the ray retreated in time, absorbing most of the recoil. Iris fared much better. Her body swayed slightly before she regained her balance. At that moment, your heaven's arrow had finished charging. Before the arrow flew with a single thought, God's wrath grip instantly suppressed the general's body. His eyes widened in shock as he struggled violently, but your heaven's arrow had already streaked toward him. General Westshark's pupils contracted sharply as the aura of death rushed toward him. Fortunately, the force controlling his body suddenly vanished. He hurriedly activated his armor's defensive function. A bubble-like protective shield enveloped him. Only then did the general's expression soften slightly. But seeing the damage you dealt, the general's eye twitched violently. In all his long life, this was the first time he'd seen such a ridiculous descendant. To think a class user without even a second advancement could deal this much damage. The flying fish commander's death was no injustice. Stop talking nonsense. Another bolt of lightning crashes down. Then, without a word, you start firing at General Westshark. Just as you're in the zone, a dark figure silently appears behind you. For a split second, time seems to freeze. You sense something is wrong. You look back and see a shadow, lunging at your heart with a dagger. Accelerate. In the nick of time, Yun Nayo's crucial buff kicks in. You spin around instantly, dodging the lethal blow. But the wings on your back are sliced. You can't fly for now. If it weren't for Yun Nayo, I'd be dead meat. Beside you, Iris is equally shocked. Damn traitor. The Shadow Man removes his mask. It's Ale, the assassin from the Yushin Guild. Damn double standard archer. I'll go give him some trouble. Don't worry, Guild Master. I've got this covered. Pretty quick reflexes, Mr. Double Standard. Originally, you planned to use your flight to be the main attacker against General Westshark. Now that you've lost your flight, you're no longer a threat to him. The Yushin Guild has likely reached some kind of deal with the Sea Clan. This battle just got a lot harder. Raise this place to the ground. General Westshark raises his spear high and bellows, fellow members of the Sea Clan, charge. Flatten Eternal Night City. We are the true masters of this land. The Sea Clan below the wall act as if they're on steroids, completely ignoring the pain. Even with an arm torn off, they fight the soldiers of Eternal Night City with everything they have. The tide of battle, which favored humans, was turned around by just one sentence from the general. He completely reversed the losing situation to awaken their potential with just one sentence and make them forget the pain. Could this be war will? That's a talent possessed by only a few members of the dragon race. It seems General Westshark has a powerful background. You pat Yun Nayo's head. Yao Yao, looks like we're going to die here today. Yao Yao looks at you. Her gaze is firm. This doesn't sound like the double standard great god I know. Just go for it. Great God, I've got plenty of heals for you. With that, Yun Nayo raises her staff and begins healing you frantically. Your health, which was down to a third, is instantly restored to full. Looking at the confident Yun Nayo, your fighting spirit ignites once again. Iris looks at the brutal battlefield. Her heart is set. She looks at your back as you fight. Suddenly, she drops to one knee. With my life as witness, I vow to be your shadow and your shield. Whether the path ahead is thorns or fire, I will always stand before you. This loyalty is unwavering until death. Eternal as the stars. Iris stands up, her blade pointing toward the sky. In the name of Iris, I protect the double standard archer. A massive pillar of golden light erupts from the ground. For a moment, the battlefield falls silent. Ding! Holy Knight Iris has bound you as her protected target. Until the protection ends, you receive a blessing from Holy Knight Iris, increasing all blessing effects by 100%. As the blessings stack up, you become the brightest light in this world. At this moment, your buff bar is so full you can't even count them. But one thing is crystal clear, your attack power, after receiving massive blessings, it has reached a terrifying 2.24 million. Is this the power of the Guardian contract? My attack power actually hit 2.24 million, just as you're marveling at it. Iris comes to your side. Stop daydreaming. Let's take down General West Shark together. Once he's dead, the Sea Clan will be leaderless, and the crisis will be over. Got it? Let's go. As she speaks, Iris immediately uses the taunt skill on General West Shark. Come on, Sharkhead, face me. General West Shark lets out a roar. You're asking for death. He charges straight at Iris. Iris and General West Shark engage in a fierce struggle on the wall, while Iris tanks the damage and draws fire. You quickly open the diamond chest, obtained from killing the flying fish commander. Iris and General West Shark engage in a fierce struggle on the wall, while Iris tanks the damage and draws fire. You quickly open the diamond chest, obtained from killing the flying fish commander. Ding! Congratulations! You have obtained Poseidon's Lookout, Grade, Diamond. Active skill, Tide's Breath. Passive skills, Sea Clan Bane, Poseidon's Protection. With this Diamond Grade longbow, you value the active skill the most. It increases attack speed 5-fold for 5 seconds. Without hesitation, you start raining arrows down on General West Shark. Facing the onslaught, General West Shark isn't a pushover. Since melee attacks are blocked by Iris, he switches to long-range attacks, but he clearly underestimated the protective power of a holy knight. Every long-range attack aimed at you is blocked by Iris with a massive shield of light. Ignore me, just focus on your DPS. As for you, from start to finish, your arrows never stopped flying, just standing there blasting away, with each arrow dealing over 1 million damage. General West Shark's protective shield finally reached its limit and shattered violently. How is this possible? Seeing the general's shield break, Iris screams out to you, with everything she's got. Double standard. Now's the time. You draw your bow to full power and activate your skill. Heaven's Arrow, pale blue arrow, like a falling star, streaks straight for General West Shark's face. The general remains calm, with no intention of dodging. Just as Heaven's Arrow is about to hit, a blinding golden light erupts from General West Shark's body, blinding everyone on the wall. Only you, using the power of the celestial eye, can see the object emitting that light. It's a dragon scale. Damn it. This guy really does have dragon blood. Little mouse, if you don't act now, our agreement will be void. Suddenly, you feel a chill on your neck. You instinctively throw yourself backward. A dark shadow with a barely audible whistle of wind brushes past your throat. You quickly roll and stand up, leaning against the city wall. As the golden light fades, a slender figure slowly emerges from the shadows. It's the assassin sent by the Wandering God Guild. Ale. With a sudden flick of his wrist, Ale throws 3 silver daggers at you. Seeing Ale charge at you, Iris is about to help, but General Sea Shark blocks her path. Your opponent is me. The silver daggers Ale threw weren't aimed directly at you, but instead sealed off your left, right, and upper space. Then, Ale pulls out with his left hand a sinister short sword emitting an ominous black aura. He arrives in an instant. As you see that short sword, your pupils shrink. This is the Sinner's Blade, Regicide. Then he is the Regicide, the most mysterious second-ranked assassin of my past life. Holy protection. Yao Yao, just waking from the blinding golden light, sees the danger and immediately casts a shield on you. The short sword clashes with the shield. The shield shatters instantly, and you are blown back by the resulting shockwave. Seeing that you're okay, Yao Yao breathes a sigh of relief and begins frantically healing you. Your nearly depleted health begins to rise rapidly. Damn healer. Elle ignores you as you are almost back to full health and instead turns to charge at Yao Yao. Oh no, you are startled. In my past life, the reason the Regicide was called the second-ranked assassin was because of this Regicide blade, crafted from a demon's skull. Those killed by demon-related items are forbidden from resurrecting. In this period where initial projection has begun, death is permanent. You pull out a one-time item obtained after defeating the flame demon. Demon's Whisper, looking at the item emitting an evil aura. You have no time to worry about the terrifying side effects of using it. You quickly bite your finger, dripping blood onto the demon's skull. Contract established. In an instant, time seems to stand still. Time seems to stand still. Everyone around you freezes. Please select your target for confusion. Once the selection is complete, you will have 5 seconds to control them. Enjoy the feeling of absolute dominance. You immediately confuse Aile's perception. In Aile's mind, General Sea Shark becomes the enemy that must be eliminated first. When you open your eyes again, Aile has already launched a full power strike at General Sea Shark. At this moment, far away in the undead crypt, Lich Glock.
Sensé à Strange Aura.
The scent of a demon. General Sea Shark never expected that Aile would actually attack him. He instinctively tries to dodge, but he's too close. After a cloud of thick smoke, General Sea Shark collapses onto his manta ray mount, his health nearly depleted. Just as you intend to deliver the final blow, you find that the target cannot be locked. Meanwhile, Aile crashes violently from the air to the ground, the wound under his ribs deep to the bone, health long gone. But unlike other players, he doesn't dissipate to respawn in the main city. Instead, he lies motionless on the ground, as if he has truly died, completely exhausted and drained. You have no energy to ponder the irrationality of everything happening. You can only watch helplessly as General Sea Shark flees in disgrace. Hearing the horn, the Sea Race army begins to slowly retreat. The crisis of Evernight City is finally over. Iris comes to your side, smiling like a flower. My warrior, thank you for your sacrifice for Evernight City. Iris's favorability towards you increases by 10. Current favorability, 70. Thank you for protecting me, my knight. The players still holding the eastern wall cheer as the Sea Race army recedes like a tide. The viewers watching this battle can no longer hold back. Honestly, the damage from that double standard arrow is insane. I doubt anyone could have withstood it. I just saw that one arrow deal over 10 million damage. Absolutely ridiculous. The threat of the Sea Race has been eliminated. Just as everyone breathes a sigh of relief, a sudden piece of news, like a boulder falling into the sea, creates massive waves among the player community. The threat of the Sea Race has been eliminated. Just as everyone breathes a sigh of relief, a sudden piece of news, like a boulder falling into the sea, creates massive waves among the player community. A massive horde of undead has appeared in the west. They are marching toward the city walls. This sudden news sends the players of Evernight City into a panic. What's happening? Wasn't it said there was only the Sea Race attack? Why are there undead? Quick! Organize forces to the western wall. We can't let the undead enter Evernight City. Otherwise the system might judge our defense as a failure. Compared to the Sea Race, the undead from the Undead Mountains are clearly easier to kill. For one thing, as long as a priest casts a light blessing on the DPS, they can deal double damage to the undead. This alone is enough for the players to handle those undead. While receiving treatment from Yao Yao, you also learn about the undead army attacking the western wall. Your first thought immediately goes to that Lich Glock. Just then, the ground on the battlefield begins to shake, rapidly spreading into a bottomless fissure. Then a massive hand, made of pure, ghostly white bone, grips the edge of the fissure and pushes upward violently. A colossal skeleton king emerges from beneath the earth. Only 2 words remain in everyone's mind. Run! It's the Skeleton King, a skeletal giant nearly 100 meters tall. His presence on the battlefield is absolutely terrifying. The dark figure standing on the skeletal giant's shoulder, others can't see clearly, but you recognize him instantly. It's Lich Glock. Lich Glock, Diamond rank boss, level 55. Skills: Undead Summon, Dark Curse, Blood Weeping Howl, Death Coil. Seeing Lich Glock's attributes, you breathe a sigh of relief. Lich Glock's stats are similar to the Flying Fish Commander's. It's just that he looks more intimidating. At this moment, Lich Glock completely ignores your surprise. He walks slowly toward the motionless Aile lying on the ground. With a wave of Lich Glock's bony claw, slash, a smooth wound opens across Aile's neck out of thin air. Drops of essence blood, as if pulled by an invisible force, curve in a strange arc through the air, landing precisely on Lich Glock's forehead. Aile's body visibly shrivels up, until even his skin turns to ash. Having absorbed the essence blood, Lich Glock's, originally dry and pale bones, begin to regrow flesh, like a dead tree injected with some evil vitality. That's right. It's the scent of a demon. With the power of a demon, I can completely annihilate you descendants. Ha ha ha. You check Lich Glock's attributes again. System error. Unable to identify. Lich Glock. Legendary boss. Level. Unknown. Damn it, this guy actually evolved. Reborn. Lich Glock scanned his surroundings. His gaze locked onto the crowd of players fleeing into Evernight City. He looked at a blonde warrior among them and casually raised his right hand. Then he clenched his fist in the air. The blonde warrior seemed to sense something. Before he could even let out a scream, his entire body was drained of life by an irresistible force. What kind of technique is this? From dozens of meters away, he just crushed the warrior to death with a gesture. Forget about that for now. We need a tank. Get that warrior to respawn and support us immediately. I can't contact him. The system says user not found. Meanwhile, inside a large interactive gaming center, a gaming pod began flashing red. Staff quickly opened the pod cover, only to find the man inside foaming at the mouth. Lich Glock clearly had no intention of stopping. This time, he raised both hands. Regardless of class or level, once locked onto, they instantly lost all strength and collapsed. Director, this is already the 8th case brought in. Their symptoms are identical. Complete brain activity cessation. They were all playing a game called Star Source before arriving. Should we report this for investigation? Shut up. Don't speak recklessly without evidence. But all these people, do you know who the boss behind Star Source is? If you want to live longer, keep your mouth shut, boss. Things have gotten a bit out of hand this time. Do you think you should step in and silence them? It doesn't matter. Everyone will find out sooner or later. Let's see if one arrow double standard is the person we've been waiting for. As dozens of players collapsed, you couldn't hold back any longer. Looking at your newly repaired wings, you held the sea god's outlook and began to whisper, "Spirit of the sea, please answer my call." The angel's wings on your back closed inward, enveloping you in a sea blue cocoon. 2 seconds later, the cocoon shattered into points of light. This is the sea god form, unlocked by gathering the sea god's outlook and angel's wings. The difference from the previous moon god form is, the former focused more on physical damage, while the sea god leans toward magical attacks, perfect for facing the skeletons and the lich below the wall. Without a word, you raised your hand and unleashed a fire whirlwind. In sea god form, the fire whirlwind is a ghostly blue. There is no warmth in it. Instead, it radiates a bone-chilling cold. Any skeleton it touches is instantly obliterated. The ghostly blue fire whirlwind blocked Lich Glock's line of sight, allowing other players to safely enter Evernight City. As the fire whirlwind dissipated, your charged heavenly arrow followed immediately, aiming straight for Lich Glock's heart. Just a few meters away from Lich Glock, a massive skeletal hand blocked the arrow's path. The ghostly blue flames scorched the Skeleton King's left arm, until the entire arm was reduced to ash. Then, with the cracking sound of growing bone, the Skeleton King's left arm instantly regenerated, as if the previous strike never happened. Damn it, if we don't deal with the Skeleton King behind Glock, we can't damage him at all. Damn it, if we don't deal with the Skeleton King behind Glock, we can't damage him at all. Phantom, go find a priest and get a light buff. You're fast. I'll leave that Skeleton King to you. One arrow double standard. Stop being such a hypocrite. How on earth could I possibly beat the Skeleton King? Brother, you're the strongest. The Skeleton King is definitely no match for you. You bet. Don't worry, sis. Once I wipe out the Skeleton King, I'll make you some bone soup. You watched Phantom run out of Evernight City's back gate and shifted your focus back to the battlefield. Currently, players can only cast skills from the wall. Melee players don't dare leave the city at all without a light buff. Once locked onto by Glock, they can only wait for death. Below the wall, Glock commanded the skeleton mages to continuously attack Evernight City's barrier. At this rate, the priests inside won't hold out for long as Phantom can distract the Skeleton King, and the barrier holds for 10 more minutes. I'm confident I can take down Glock, but how do we survive these 10 minutes? Is this where it ends? Just as you were at your wit's end, pillars of return light flared up within Evernight City. The pillars, over 20 meters wide, pierced heaven and earth, sweeping away the dark clouds and aura of death from the entire city and the surrounding miles. That's a teleportation array, a player on the verge of collapse muttered. From within the light, a voice rang out, full of confidence and reassurance. Little brother double standard. I wonder if I've arrived at the right time? The speaker was Batian One Blade of the Batian Guild. He stepped out of the light, leading the members of the Batian Guild. Then, members of the Azure Phoenix Guild emerged one after another, along with Vice President Azure Phoenix Yu. Little brother double standard. You owe your big sister a huge favor this time. Li Na and Zhao Yu also stepped out of the light, followed by a group of players. Little brother, big sister is here to support you. Finally, as the light faded, the high priest of the Holy Light Cathedral, Olenber, emerged with a multitude of priests. Young hero, the Holy Light Cathedral shall be your strongest support. With that, the priests began applying light buffs to every melee class and started repairing the damaged barrier. I'll catch up with you all later. First, let's clear out this trash. Without looking back, you unleashed another whirlwind. Their arrival was like an anchor, instantly stabilizing the collapsing front line. Lich Glock, your head is